hard body be the name. Israel, up next. Don't live life in regret like a drunk text. Why? Them bombs finna drop. Fun flex. This beat like water and I'm walking on it. Earth made for us and we the salt up on it. Red beam sight for your doctrine, put a target on it. Dogs get a warning so that block, we be barking on it. We don't want no smoke, we want the chimney. All that, yeah, all that. Keep that energy, don't fall back. Bird's eye view, looking like a centipede. We be in the streets, talking California to Tennessee, plus further east. Yeah, worldwide awakening. Gotta keep the law, that's the only way to make it in. We giving you the knowledge, now take it in. These pastors too foul, call it flagrant.
We the prophets and we back up on the earth. Time to get up off the dirt and be about our Father's work. Time to hit them where it hurts. Time to hit them where it hurts. It's time to bring them out the church. We the prophets and we back up on the earth. Time to get up off the dirt and be about our Father's work. Time to hit them where it hurts. Time to hit them where it hurts. It's time to bring them out the church.
The king is on the way, you don't believe me, then go look it up. He coming with the flames, I pray he keep me when he cooking up. Growing up, the only thing I heard I wasn't good enough. I got up on this earth, I know my worth, so now it's looking up, okay. Ay, what they talking about? If it ain't about reclamation, tell them boys go walk it out. If they talking defamation, we gon' take the garbage out. Building up our reputation to the low, we calling out.
My people different, but the truth is missing. Hard to hear, so they never listen. Pull the script and they get to tripping. Word hitting harder than Sunny. Listen, nothing worse than a scummy Christian. They'll snake you out if the money mentioned. Protect your neck, look for redemption. We ruling next, so let's get to fishing. Okay, the Lord been making a way. The prophets is back by the way. We putting the sin on display. They been leading my people astray. Oh God, I'm hoping you heard what I say. The kingdom is coming to stay. The wicked been counting his days. No control that we not for the play. No prophets and we back up on the earth. Time to get up off the dirt and be about our Father's work. Time to hit them where it hurts. Time to hit them where it hurts. It's time to bring them out the church. We the prophets and we back up on the earth. Time to get up off the dirt and be about our Father's work. Time to hit them where it hurts. Time to hit them where it hurts. It's time to bring them out the church.
Let's do it. I just cut a scuffle, feeling like a barber. Me and all my Jews in all black like we from Gotham. Me and all my Jews, we come straight down from the bottom. Me and all my Jews got me shining like a dot. I just cut a scuffle, feeling like a barber. Me and all my Jews in all black like we from Gotham. Me and all my Jews, we come straight down from the bottom. Me and all my Jews got me shining like a diamond.
It's that big Jew with that big mouth and I cry loud on the scoffer. I pull the script and yo, bring it out and I cut his ass like a barber. I'm going harder than a math test with no answers cause I'm a problem. I'm on your corner like Dion and I'm shutting down your doctrine. Got them on the run, they get breathing. The script's breaking down your defense. Scripts cut them up, now you leaking. We shutting up what you speaking. You go ahead and act tough, boy. I'll leave your ass on the cement. You try to jump, you hit jack, boy. That's how we exercising your demons. I'm gone, now I'm on my 2-3 zone. And I'm moving through the scripts like I'm navigating it. And I'm led by the spirit and it's got me feeling lit. And I shine real bright like a diamond in the sun. Kill my old man, I ain't even need a gun. I can go 12 rounds, I don't even need one. It's a knockout, bye-bye, ha-ha. Gone, little stop, you can take your ass home.
Cut em. Bring out that first aid kit, scoffers. Struggling, working on my patience. You trying to push my buttons. We came over on slave ships, now we looking lovely. Dripping all in public, you love it. Hit him with the precept, now he trying to change the subject. He funny. Hit him with the headshot, no red dot, aim for the dreadlock. Now we gotta move camp, it's a dead spot. All eyes on us cause we red hot. And we already know that the feds watch. I got no time for scoffers. We really around the way, ain't got time for bloggers.
black like we from Gotham. Me and all my jewels, we come straight down from the bottom. Me and all my jewels got me shining like a diamond.
There's a clear difference between me and you. I noticed Ishmael never liked me cause they know I'm a Jew. Somebody tell me the truth, like I got bugs in my nose. Invest my money in crypto, you spend your bread on these hoes. Fringes on all of my clothes, see y'all real fly as the crows. We dropping Jews in the bar, then make blood drop out they nose. They see my spirit, they froze. We make sure all blows connect. We plug the people with God, I'm guessing we the connect. Lately I beat on my chest when I'm transcending my flesh, cause I feel just like a god, how I be acing these tests. Might catch me shouting out yes, cause it's a euphoric feeling. I used to keep my head down, now I bump my nose on the ceiling. I'm feeling, you got a problem, then address it, cause we could talk it out like men, no need for Smith & Wesson. Don't learn a lesson with 40 boots who know they roots, and I'm the nice one. Hey, hand me a Bible, I'm about to slice them.
How many times we gotta go through this? You ask a question, the book will flip. When my man to the right about to pull the script, you already coming with a defense like 4-6. If you coming for the 1-2, better have you a big crew. That's Titanic. When you read, then you put the hand up, cause they don't really want the answer. We cut through the propaganda like sweet bananas. He was green like Bruce Banner, looking for a friend to help him, and he tried to tag him. Now he wanna change the channel like remote. When the spirit grab you by the throat, do you realize there's no hope? All eyes are on you like a scope. Oh, now you see the light, but no, just move along. We ain't got time for the back and forth. Take a flyer, read it home, do your research, prove me wrong. If the Lord called you, welcome home. If you don't, then you got to roll. If it can't be broken, why try to tempt? You must not know who you playing with.
I just cut a scuffle, feeling like a barber. Me and all my jewels in all black like we from Gotham. Me and all my jewels, we come straight down from the bottom. Me and all my jewels got me shining like a diamond. I just cut a scuffle, feeling like a barber. Me and all my jewels in all black like we from Gotham. Me and all my jewels, we come straight down from the bottom. Me and all my jewels got me shining like a diamond. I ain't even got much playroom for this. Free from the water. We the ones that's hot. You think you run your city, you really running your mouth. The kings is in the building, in presence you need to bow. Keep taking shots at the crown, we coming up to your block and show you what that purple about. We the ones that's hot. You think you run the city, you really running your mouth. The kings is in the building, in presence you need to bow. Keep taking shots at the crown, we coming up to your block and show you what that purple about. We the ones that's hot. Speculation, I'm talking to all of y'all. You jealous of the splendor, you really showing your gender. We giants in the game and we tired of arguing with midgets. You jealous of the views cause yours missing like Bobby Fischer. So go on, taste the asphalt. Got barbecued in Kansas City, had to bring them cans out. 1,000 boots up in your city, all over a camp spot that you don't own. You acting petty, but I'm still gonna pray for you. I hope the most I send you blessings. Teach you a lesson, change your agenda. Don't get a sacrifice of fools, you act contentious. Niggas is vicious, we are comrades. We on the same side, brew where the love at. So let's bring the love back and march out where them thugs at. And hear the people drive out evil, make them heathens fall back. Show them that we all at the creme de la creme and our skin black. Him that, them black, we the ones that's hot. You think you run your city, you really running your mouth. The kings is in the building, in presence you need to bow. Keep taking shots at the crown, we coming up to your block and show you what that purple about. We the ones that's hot. You think you run the city, you really running your mouth. The kings is in the building, in presence you need to bow. Keep taking shots at the crown, we coming up to your block and show you what that purple about. We the ones that's hot. I hit the block and saving, I got Bruce Wayne down in Baltimore. I'm whipped up like the MIA, my sister call me Florida, but you could call me Nicholas. So Mr. Flow ridiculous, my haters pissed, we never miss. Just let them know we in this, let go. Yeah, we on the road, city at the city like we touring doing shows. Better yet, we island hopping, we ain't stopping out to getting sturdy with it. We might need an LLC the way them profits handle minutes, right? The spirit got us bright, talking about that hot ultraviolet purple light. Bringing sight to the blind, open eyes like Venetian blinds. See the signs, getting line. The ops, they on demon time, keep in mind the laws. Perfection's achieved when you minimize your flaws, and that is achieved when discipline's involved. And then you translate it from a nigga to a god. Message, we the ones that's hot. You think you run your city, you really running your mouth. The kings is in the building, in presence you need to bow. Keep taking shots at the crown, we coming up to your block and show you what that purple about. We the ones that's hot. You think you run the city, you really running your mouth. The kings is in the building, in presence you need to bow. Keep taking shots at the crown, we coming up to your block and show you what that purple about. We the ones that's hot.
Yeah.
No law, no peace. Hey, I can't see no sign of peace. A lot of my people, they die in the street. A lot of my people, they dying to eat. No law, no peace. Hey, I can't seem to find no peace. Walking through the street like Galilee and the police playing hide and seek. No law, no peace. Hey, I can't see no sign of peace. A lot of my people, they die in the street. A lot of my people, they dying to eat. No law, no peace. Hey, I can't seem to find no peace. Walking through the street like Galilee and the police playing hide and seek.
No law, no peace, no power, no heat, no bread to eat, no guidance to teach. 2 kids, 1 bed, no covers, just sheets. So you know we cold and hungry, we can't wait to rest in peace. Them shots ringing out all night, you can hear the blood cry in the streets. Come on down to Baltimore, baby, where your life measured in weeks. No love for the sheep, more like food for the wolves and the goons. They showing they teeth, they thinking we sweet. Till we hit the block with the flock and 1,000 boots marching your street in the belly of the beast. More like the devil's aim is from Park Heights down to DC. Think we a disease. No, we not COVID-19. We don't need to go and take your vaccines. I see freedom ain't free. Every step you take is a fee. Bills to your neck till you can't breathe. This captivity feels much worse than the first. And these curses, my identity. Be all you could be. That's the American dream, but it's nightmares when I go to sleep. See, I dream of chains on hands, on neck, on feet. My sons and my daughters getting taken from me. A land with no order.
It's that time again.
Power Hour Plus.
Ya es la hora. You know, Power Hour. Ponle atención, class is in session. Tune in for an hour, maybe more, that's a blessing. Learn from the captains and the leadership. Flee from religion, cause them churches never teaching shit. Everything you learn for your benefit. Line upon line is a requisite. Never take a deficit, yeah. That mean you take a loss if you stray from the way. You get the understanding if you study every day. Apply what you learn and bless when you pray. There's one interpretation, man, it say what it say. Ya viene el tiempo, entra para el templo. Aprende del maestro con talento. La Biblia es el centro, usando a Israel como instrumento. No te pierdas en doctrina como viento. Estudia y ora y aplica. Tiempo para Dios, ven, hace una cita. Escritura dinamita, morenos y hispanos israelitas. Oye cómo explica Israel unido en Cristo para la vida. Nunca se divida. Tune in, it's the Power Hour. Learn your family history, don't be a coward. Yeah. Tune in, it's the Power Hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the Power Hour. In every hour. Tune in to your history. You know it in history. Power Hour. In every hour. You know your history. In every hour.
Rockin' with the deacon while you waiting on the weekend. From the tribe of Ethan with the home Puerto Rican. That's a byword, those ain't names, it's God-given. Fighting from oppression and saving all guys, chilling, giving light to the people. Don't let the devil beat you. When you have at your disposal all these leaders that can teach you how to fight fornication, eat in moderation, correcting all these marriages and self-examination. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. You probably sleeping if you thinking this is not war. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. Just tune in and we gon' tell you what to watch for. Yeah, the Power Hour. You know, it's the Power Hour. Yeah, the Power Hour. Yeah.
Shalom. Welcome to the Power Hour Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna see who was gonna fill in.
I was about to do it, but all praises.
I was gonna see who was gonna fill in.
Can't hit it like Officer Rube, but hey, you know.
Yeah, no, he coined that thing, boy. When he
Right.
read that thing that day, I said, "Oh snap!"
That's a staple.
And yes, I know people waiting in the periphery. We are live.
That's right.
That's right.
Don't we put replay up on the screen when it's live? Or you not doing that no more?
Sometimes
you
I do,
tricking
sometimes
people.
I don't. You know.
Damn, you tricking people. Listen, especially coming off of like they don't know if I'm gonna be gone for a week, 2 weeks.
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean, we've been trying to do replays less. We let now that we got a 50 on the show, we letting the 50
mini me
covering when I'm not here, and you know sometimes Officer Issachar has filled in. You know, so but we here, we in the building.
That's
I don't know.
right.
It looked like it's gonna be light tonight.
Nah. Build it. They
Yeah.
will come.
Yeah, it'll come.
Light
It'll
tonight.
come. Y'all share the show. Share the show.
Yeah, y'all should be while you chilling, rocking to the music. You know, be sharing that we live so people know what's up. See what we in there.
Yeah, baby, we live.
Yeah, baby, we live. I'm Deacon Joshua.
Officer Benson.
Officer Tobias.
Yeah, we got Officer
Also,
Benson.
we in the booth tonight.
Benson in the booth. Yeah, man. Super spreader event at a men's conference. Brothers is sick, down and
Crazy.
out. I know.
They not used to that humidity.
I know. Uvain always sick though.
Yeah. The
Like
last
my-
couple of months, he been calling out a lot.
Bro, he's always sick.
Yeah.
Bro, he was vegan, he was sick. He was not vegan, he was sick.
Right.
Uvain. Ruvain always be sick, bro.
This
All
is-
the years that I've known Ruvain, he always sick, bro.
Get it together, Malek.
Yeah,
Official
Malek.
Malek.
We praying for you. He sounded jacked up though. I was voicing with him today,
Yeah.
and he sounded jacked up.
I was talking to him Sunday. I can hear his voice going out.
Yeah,
He would have been like,
You know who else is always sick? Ashaya.
Yeah. Yeah.
ever since that fondue.
It's them kids. It's the kids.
The
When you got
kids.
that many little ones running
It's
through
true.
the house.
I'll give you that. The kids be carrying. Wait, do they go to school or they homeschooled though?
Does it matter?
It does because if they're in the house, it's not like the germs just get to them because they're kids.
This is true.
You know, I'd be wondering that too.
They get to places though that not everyone gets to, so they might get up under some stuff.
I don't know, man. I know when they go to school, that's like super spreader action right there.
Right. I can see that.
Yeah. They that's super spread. Because like my daughter does not get as sick as much since he's been homeschooled. Now my son's still the freaking vector because he goes to physical school, but
Right.
you know, he jacked up. I know. Right. Oh, we're gonna talk about herbs today.
Hey, let's
Purple
get it.
Princess said, "Get them herbs." We are gonna talk about herbs today. Herbs have their uses.
That's right.
Herbs have their uses. As does the hospital and doctors.
That's right.
As does the hospital and
Right.
doctors. We're gonna talk about all those things when we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Because meat and potatoes got their uses too.
That's right. Protein, carbs.
Yeah, we're gonna tell. You know, we be talking about health. You know, we jump around. We do everything, just like the intro song say. We talk about everything, bro.
Right.
Got to.
Battle fornication,
Marriage.
how to prove marriage, all of that, right? But you know, being that health was such a big focus in the conference, I got some stuff that I've been sitting on. I said, you know what? I'm gonna talk about this. We're gonna be light. We down Ruvain. We down Asher.
Yep.
Asher sick too.
Oh, he was trying to squeeze in there though. He
Yeah, but I just don't want the spreading. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I've been
It's-
feeling good. Like I don't want to go down, and
Right.
you know, I'm making progress again. You know,
Right.
came back from Chile, and I've lost like I think 7 pounds
Oh, praise.
in like 2 weeks. So you know, I'm back on it.
On
Back
fire.
Yeah, I had to take a break, bro, because I had dieted for like 18 months, I think, straight, and I needed a break. My body was fighting me.
I know how it is.
Yeah, my body was fighting
Yeah.
me. So
When
I took like a little 2-3 months.
Yeah, I remember I told you when I saw myself like in the top 2 on the Whoop group, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Doing something.
Yeah,
Doing
I even took some weeks off from like heavy strenuous, just kind of walking here and there and stuff like that. Just give
Yeah.
myself a little reset, you know. And so at my lowest, I got to was 159ish. It might have been like point something, and like 15.9% body fat. And then I took a break. So I actually blew up to 176 at one point.
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't think I ever really looked bad at any point.
No.
So, but that's what happens when you do it with less body fat. So, like when you add the weight back, it's not as
It's still you can carry it.
You can carry it and it
Yeah.
still looks all right.
Yeah.
Pants will still fit in relatively okay. The shirts and stuff like that. So, but I'm pushing for 155, 150 this time.
Oh, praise.
So, and I was 167 this morning.
As you drop it though, you don't look skinny.
Well,
So you still got the muscle mass.
that's the muscle preservation. That's the
Right.
high protein. That's how you do it. I know, because that was the other thing. So bishops and deacons, especially Bishop Nathaniel, he was like, yo, these brothers is looking like they're going to get beat up at camp. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Skinny fat.
they looking like they
Right.
took some Ozempic and they just lost all their muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like, so no, I'm very meticulous about preserving muscle. Plus, I've always been, I might not look like a bodybuilder, and I think that's what warps people's perception. But I carry a lot of muscle mass. I'm as high as you can be without like having to take something extra.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I was gonna do something like that.
Right.
When we did the fat-free calculator, like it had me up there as, superior, but just below like being suspect. Because people don't realize like what it really takes to put on and maintain muscle. So I have years of weight training. It was under a lot of fat.
Right.
It was
But
under a
now
lot of
all
fat.
that is starting to reveal itself. And,
Yes,
yep.
yes. That's why, So my goal is if I shoot for that 150 and like 12%, then I have room to go back up to like 165. And I think if I could float around 160, 165 and keep it between 12 and 15%, I'll just rock like that. And, you do that periodically. I'll have to jump on a little diet, little cut, and then go back to maintenance and
Right.
just try to fill some certain things out,
It's
because
good
you
though.
give yourself that cushion, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can always adjust how you want to.
But it starts with getting your metabolism kind of in check, like optimized, right? Because nobody's metabolism slows down. We've gone over that on the show.
Right.
Right.
There's no slowdown in metabolism. They find that it stays relatively stable through the lifespan. What you think is a slowdown in metabolism is actually you're just not as active. And I don't mean active like even gym. You're just not as active when you were younger. You tend to move more inadvertently. You subtly burn more calories. And when you get older, you don't. You sit more. More of us have more desk jobs more.
Right.
We're not,
Up and active.
if you're in a
like you once
commuter
were.
type city where there's a lot of walking and public transit, then you have some more activity to buffer you. But if you're in a place like here where it's from the door to the car to the car to the door,
That heat, man.
I mean, even when it's cold, like we're not really out there walking like that and stuff like that. You drive around here. It's not a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
foot
true.
traffic places. You drive around here.
When I lived in Tempe, I walked a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Tempe's a little different though.
Yeah, I would walk to work, walk home,
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I noticed, D? When you pointed out a couple months ago, you said like all the fat brothers, we just be sitting at home burning calories, like we don't do no workout.
It's true. Just having a higher muscle mass, even if it is fat,
I've noticed
at rest you burn more calories.
when mine have dropped, at rest, right? Like it's not, I can go a day and not do anything and it's not over, 1,500-1,600 calories like it used to be. Like even when I worked out today, I had a pretty good workout, stair stepper and a nice back workout. And typically that would be around 2,500 calories. Today it was only at 1,800.
Yeah, so as you lose the weight, and that's what winds up happening. So it's not that your metabolism slows; it's just that you're lighter. So your basal metabolic rate is lower as you've lost weight. So that becomes more challenging too. But right away, everybody wants to blame it on this, that, or the other. I got to increase my Celtic or pink salt.
That was driving me crazy at
All of
men's
that.
conference. Oh
right,
my God.
Right. So, you just increase the lean mass, and when you're at rest, your body, and it's not just that when you're at rest, you're more efficient because you're burning more. See, here's the problems with the brothers that look like all flabby and weak. They sacrificed muscle to reach their green goal.
Right.
And now their metabolism is not as efficient as it could be. What happens is having higher muscle mass also increases your what's called nutrient partitioning. And what that means is it's kind of the video. Do we have the video where the guy used the thing with insulin and how it's a Uber and everything?
Oh yeah,
Run that one back.
That one was good.
That he's gonna explain it far better than I can than any technical terms. We showed it, I think, one of the last shows we did.
It was on the last one.
And I'd like to show it. No, it's the guy that sits by the table, a little Edomite, not Dr. Joey.
He had like 2 cars.
He's always like kind of crouched down by a table.
He had a tank top.
We
on,
showed
I
it
believe
recently. It wasn't too many shows ago. That's him. That's it. You
There we
man,
go.
On point.
You on
Come
it?
on now.
All right. This guy.
Shout out to Mijo.
I forgot this guy's name. You know, my wife had told me once before, like with like the content that I show, she was like, you know, you can do that content, like just with what you know.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, maybe, right? Like it's just time or whatever. But I think there's something about showing other people, right? Like your prophet's not received in his own town.
Right.
Sometimes, even with all the stuff I put out, people are gonna stick to their things and their sacred
And
cows.
they don't even stick to that.
And they don't even really stick to that well, right? So I'll show this, and then I don't even do my show intro. But you know what? Before I show this, and I'll get back to that, let me do my little intro, right? So obviously health touches on everything, and we're trying to make the nation healthier, right? What did I say the other day? Make Israel healthy again? Miha. Not MAGA, Miha. Make Israel healthy again. Not just fit, right? But healthy. Not just lose the weight, but healthy. And this is what I think where a lot of the sisters get it twisted when it comes to the body fat. Because we have this perception of the thickness.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
But I'm telling you, that being thick with muscle is a lot nicer than being thick with
Exactly.
Cellulite.
Thank
right,
you.
with cellulite and
Right.
all this
They'll
other
say,
stuff.
I don't want to lose, XYZ.
Yeah, yeah, that's really what it is. Oh my gosh, I don't want. Right, because you still thinking real carnal. You want to have your fat hips and right. I'm not even gonna say thick because thick's like you trying to make it seem like right,
Like it's good.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
still
saying?
have that look that they had in
You
pants.
could have that look, right? They want to have the look that they had in pants,
that's what
right?
it is.
And then they realize since you got to wear modest stuff in order to have that look, you gotta fatten it up.
Right. And they don't want to lose that.
And they don't want to lose that.
Right.
But not realizing that they could just add it in muscle and be healthier and be more metabolically healthier.
Yep.
And that's the key. And that's really what I'm going to speak about today, mostly because we're going to talk about our health, our healing, and our faith, and how you need all three to really kind of optimize the bodies that the Lord has given us while we're here, right? And I'll be honest with you. It's not any really single one thing, but when we get to our article after I show this video, I'm going to show you. It's really about establishing strong faith in how God created our bodies and how they function and understanding that. And it's less about let me take this, let me ingest this to a point when I'm talking about supplements and herbs, because even herbs should be supplemental. Food is your medicine.
Right.
But if your body is not in what's called a metabolically ideal state, the food doesn't do what it needs to do. And that's where this video comes in. So let's show this so you can understand the difference between somebody who's built more lean mass, and this is the nutrient partitioning, and how the body sends nutrients to different parts of the body. And why we've had such an emphasis on losing the fat and burning the fat, not dropping scale weight, which people confuse. Because in theory, though it's relatively hard to do, you're going to lose muscle if you're dieting.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can remain in a similar weight range and still drop body fat.
In a healthy weight range.
In a healthy weight range. So you could be in a 10-pound range, right? And have only lost 10 pounds. But if you're metabolically ideal, most of that will be fat. And that's called recomposition. Now, my philosophy is the same philosophy of some of the people that I follow, if you want to call it philosophy. You're better off chasing one than trying to chase two and not catch any of them.
Right.
So you're better off just focusing on dieting, or you're better off on focusing on putting your mass on versus trying to do both. Because everybody wants that, because that's the best of both worlds.
Right.
But if you're not metabolically healthy, if you carry a disproportionate amount, which means that the reference ranges that we've shown of healthy body fat percentages,
Yep.
if you're clinically obese and above, and for a woman, I believe anything over 30.5% is considered obese. No matter how you look, 30.5% body fat or higher is clinically obese.
Right.
And for a man, I think it's anything above 24%. So even you recent greens at 26 and 25 are still clinically obese.
Right.
Your body is not operating efficiently. And here's what happens when your body's not efficiently set up. Go ahead.
Time you eat, your body calls an Uber, and its name is insulin. And the passengers are glucose. This is insulin, this is glucose, this is fat, and this is muscle. Think of your body like a big city. And anytime you eat food, especially sugar or carbs, a bunch of little energy guys show up. They're called glucose. But these guys don't know where to go. So your body calls an Uber. And that's what insulin is, a nutrient Uber. It picks up the glucose and drives it to different places in your body. But where the glucose gets dropped off depends on what kind of body you have. If you're healthy...
So... almost everything you break down, for the most part, he's giving you an oversimplification. Yes, there's some nuance for anybody who's versed in that. Your body's primary source of fuel is glucose. That's what it likes, right? Which is sugar.
Right.
So when you eat any type of carb, I don't care if it's brown carb, it's Ezekiel bread, it's this, that, because I know you're going to have all the people that are going to get into no white rice, more brown stuff, more this, more that. And a lot of that's minutia if your body's not primed.
Yep. I got that chart too that you.
Yeah, a lot of that's minutia if your body's not primed, right? The only thing that is unequivocally bad is trans fats. What comes right behind that is too much saturated fats.
Yep.
And other than that, it's basically a toss up. Yes, are there some dyes? Are there some binders in food that could be problematic? Potentially, right? But that's not the reason you're fat. You just eat too much. Like at the end of the day, you eat too much. You're eating more than what your body uses. And when you're, he's going to explain now the part where when your body composition is good, that little Uber, right, which is the insulin, which is what takes the food where it needs to go, is going to either continue to take it to fat when you're fat predominant, or it's going to take it to muscle when you're leaner, right? Go ahead. Run it back like 10 seconds.
Your body calls an Uber, and that's what insulin is, a nutrient Uber. It picks up the glucose and drives it to different places in your body. But where the glucose gets dropped off depends on what kind of body you have. If you're healthy, active, and have muscle tissue, it'll drop glucose off at your muscles because a muscle club has space. But if you sit a lot, eat junk food, and don't move much, the muscle club is full. So insulin drives them to fat storage and drops glucose off there. That's how your body saves energy for later. If I could oversimplify it, glucose is energy. When dumped off at the muscle club, it turns into glycogen, which is usable energy right now. When the muscle club is full, is driven and dumped at the fat club, which is energy saved for later. If you're constantly eating junk in a calorie surplus and don't move much, your body keeps calling Ubers, but overdrives them and doesn't let them refuel. So eventually, your nutrient Uber breaks down and gets sluggish. That's called insulin resistance. When you're insulin resistant and eat food, because you're constantly spiking your blood sugar, the drop-off point is almost always fat because that's the easiest place to go. This can almost always be solved by eating protein, lifting weights, and being in a calorie deficit. Insulin and a calorie deficit.
Stop. So I know you got people in the audience right now, and they're thinking, well, this is where your herbs, this is where your Celtic salts or your pink salt, this is where this and that.
Yep.
That's not going to do nothing if the other stuff is not good first.
They're chasing the two.
Supplements are called supplements for a reason. It's something you do on top of a foundation.
Right.
And then you supplement, right? That's it, right? So if your body, and he said, listen, the solution is eating more protein, lifting weights, and being active.
Yep.
And then that's how you fix insulin resistance.
And that's everything we've been talking about.
For ages. But people are still, and I get it, the fitness industry sucks.
It's saturated. It's oversaturated.
It's oversaturated with people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And they sound so convincing.
Yep.
They pander to biases of certain audiences. And because it sounds like what you've basically kind of aligned yourself with, you follow these people, and yet you still do not have proper, consistent, healthy results. And it's not just about appearance, it's about getting everything inside where it needs to be.
Right.
You can be slim and have high cholesterol. You can be slim and have high blood pressure. The remedy to that, really what they're finding now, is having a good amount of muscle mass. What's good? They have scales. They're just starting to bring this data out. But the more you have naturally, not enhanced, because there's a whole slew of other problems of people that abuse steroids, right? And it jacks your whole body up in other ways. The more you have naturally creates everything else metabolically healthy in your body, right? Run it back like 10 seconds and hear what he said, how you fix it. Come on.
Your blood sugar, the drop-off point is almost always fat because that's the easiest place to go. This can almost
So stop.
always be-
So the fatter you are, the more what you eat is going to get stored as fat.
Club torta.
Club torta.
That's exactly what that is.
The more you focus on lean protein and muscle and building that muscle up, the more it's going to start putting some of that towards the muscle,
right,
which your body then uses more efficiently. Fat is energy for later, and your body does not like to let it go. And it takes a lot to let it go. And it's a slow process, right? So you want this stuff being driven to your muscles. This goes for women and men. Get the old sacred cows, the myths out of your head of I'm going to get bulky, I'm going to get this. You're going to look, a woman, unless she has some sort of hormonal thing where her testosterone's unusually high, is never, ever going to look remotely like a man.
No, and that's
those
what a lot
women,
of them fear.
right? Those women you see in those bodybuilding shows, they take drugs to look like that.
Right.
All right, you will not look like that as a woman, okay? If you fix yourself, right? If you fix yourself, right? That's a very modest adjustment of what you wind up looking at in that way, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead, play this.
Lifting weights and being in a calorie deficit. Insulin and a calorie deficit work hand in hand. There are people that try and disprove a calorie deficit by talking about how insulin affects fat loss, but they work hand in hand. They're just proving that they don't understand body systems. So lift weights and eat in a calorie deficit to make sure there's room at the muscle club, and follow me for bodybuilding made simple.
Right. So that's nutrient partitioning, oversimplified, but that's basically the essence of it. Right. And this is why it's so important that you get yourself. This is why I said I was 159. I went up to 176. What's that, like 15, 16 pounds?
Yeah.
And it didn't look like I got fat.
Right.
And I felt good and everything was okay. And now, after this break, I'm kind of, okay, let me focus on going back down a little bit.
Yep.
And then, and then you build it back up leaner each time, right? And then you'll wind up, they talk about set points. That's how you reset your set point. And then you wind up where then it becomes easier because you maintain it. You're better off establishing your baseline health and where you want to be, weight and body fat wise, and then maintaining that. Because if you let it go, it's so much harder. It takes a lot of up and down to get back to a place. That's why people go on these diets. And then what you do is you wind up messing yourself up, because each time you do these crash diets, you lose more muscle, so then you rebound, and then this process that we just showed happens.
It's a
and you wind up feeding fat instead of muscle. This is why slower is more maintainable. All right, crash diets are okay if you know what you're doing and how to come out of them properly. But for the most part, you're better off with the slow and steady. I know I was talking with Deacon Malachi. I said, bro, I lost almost 40 pounds over 18 months. He said, oh, why it took you so long? I said,
yo, that's
all right.
what you used to always post in the group. And it didn't start hitting our fat asses until, all these standards came down on us. I specifically remember at least twice a week you always post slow and steady.
Right.
Slow and steady. And we saw that progress over that 18-month period.
I would post my progress to you guys,
would.
so you saw it.
And it was always those words, slow and steady.
Slow and steady. As long as I'm moving in the general right direction, and weight loss is not linear. Some weeks you'll be up.
Yep.
Some weeks you won't lose at all. Some weeks you're going to go down a lot. That's fine. That's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. And if you're a woman, even more. Because you have hormonal shifts, they retain a lot more water than us. There's different things that go on. And here's the other thing that he didn't speak about when it comes to being fixing your metabolism. Guys, and women in general, people in general, but specifically for men, for example, I'll give you an example. When you're fatter, you have more body fat, you tend to convert more estrogen in your body.
Sure do.
So that's why you get the titties. That's why you look soft and bloated and things like that.
Yep.
Because you have higher estrogen conversion.
That's why you get emotional.
Right. That's why you get emotional. Right. Because your body, your testosterone gets lower when you're fat.
Right.
Right. And when you lean up with muscle, right, you raise your testosterone naturally. You improve all that efficiency. Right. Same thing with women. You have these syndromes that they have. And a lot of it can be remedied with the same thing that he said, right? So that's why I say it's not an excuse that you have PCOS or whatever. It's not that your metabolism different. It just makes it harder for you because of the way you feel.
Yep.
And your hormones are imbalanced and your nutrient partitioning isn't right. But if you follow these principles and those basics, you'll be able to overcome that consistently. Now, I do have a rapid fat loss diet. It's not mine, somebody else's, that I know works, and I push it. But they call it rapid because it's faster fat loss than what you would typically get. But what it's really based on is what they call a protein-sparing modified fast. And it's basically a form of fasting because you up the protein exponentially. You eat like 4 cups of vegetables a day, and you keep the fat between 20 and 30 grams daily. And most people that do that wind up like Captain Abiel was doing it, and he was dropping real steady. He only lost half a pound of muscle, right? I'm not sure what he's doing now. I told him he's going to be like my case study for brothers, but I think he was messing up a little bit with these travels.
Right.
I told him, get back on the horse. I said, trust me, you'll adjust real quick. Get back on the horse. It was working. Don't panic, and move in that direction. Right.
And that's the problem with that, though. You put it out there, but the discipline isn't there to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and if
really,
it's not, stay on that slow, steady pace.
Right.
Stay on one path instead of, falling off and doing multiple things.
Right. So now I want to put this, right? Remember, when you get sick or when something's going on with you, because it's not just going to be health and diet. We're going to talk about sickness and healing as well today, right? Where do you turn to first? Is it the doctor? Is it the pharmacy? Is it the herbal shop? Or do you turn to the Most High first? I think a lot of us go to remedies first. And I'm not saying you do one without the other, but concurrently, right? You got to lean on your faith, right?
Yep.
And we're going to give examples later in the scriptures where people are healed by their faith.
Yeah.
And there's, I'm going to look up a few examples where most of the time when he healed people, and they thanked him or they praised God, he said, by your faith are you healed, right? Now, that's the extreme case, right? Right now, none of our faith's at that level, and the Lord doesn't have healing hands yet back in the earth, right?
Right.
But with that faith, that still applies. But then you honor the physician, you do the other things that you need to do to get yourself where you have to get to. But if your confidence is wholly based on that, that's why when I do my 4 pillars, right? You'll hear a lot of places call it 3 pillars. The first one is the scriptures as you build yourself up, right? And and your faith falls in that as well. That's your foundation, right? When the scripture says there's no other foundation you could lay other than Christ's foundation, that's not just the nation building. That's not just the ministry and the church. That even applies to you individually, right? It starts with yourself and your body and so on,
It's
right?
everything.
Right. It's everything. And you got to believe those things. And I'm going to show you how there's a little caveat that I came up with and I started researching and what inspired tonight's show. But most people think that the issue is, you're eating highly processed foods. You know what? It's not the highly processed foods by themselves. That oversimplifies things, right? Should you focus on single ingredient whole foods and you mix them? Because you're processing your own food when you make a recipe. That's processed. When you take single ingredient foods and you make a dish, now it's different, right? Because in order to make it shelf stable and stuff, they have to put stabilizers and preservatives and additives and things like that.
Yep.
And those can compound things. But if you're in a healthy state and in moderation, you consume those things. The real issue with the highly processed foods is that they have food chemists that make them addictive. Right? Damn, there was a clip I had about the Oreos. He was telling the joke.
I was just thinking
where he was
that.
like, yo, a serving's 2 Oreos. And he like, yo, 2 Oreos while I'm walking back to the TV. That's just the Oreos back to the TV. This one's good too. We can do this one. But there's a comedian and he was talking about he was like, how you just eat 2? He was like, 2 is like while I grab it and take the pack back to the couch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the 2 on the way.
Right.
So I'll give you an example of what the real issue is with highly processed foods. They force you to overeat. They stimulate things in your body and in your taste buds that make you overeat. Processed foods can be a part of a healthy diet. Is the ideal whole foods and everything? Yes, but we live in a world and a society where that's not right? You shouldn't really, if you go by that, you shouldn't even buy bread from the store. You should make your own at home.
Yep. Process.
So my point is, stop the hypocrisy. That's not the solution in and of itself. It's a multifactorial type of thing, right? But let's do the Oreo thing, for example. This is the highly processed foods. Yeah, that's the double stuff too. Calories is extra.
As he stares at it.
That's how it be
That's
in the
really how it
Oreos.
be.
That's how it is.
Man.
Or any hyperpalatable food. Think of like for me, I know cheese doodles or cheese puffs. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
You just go to town on that. That's why my snack of choice when I'm dieting, if I am gonna snack at all, like sometimes you feel for like a little salty, would be pretzels. Okay. And I do the pretzel rods because within a serving, they'll satisfy that craving.
Right.
And they have a high enough serving size too.
Right. So 3 is a serving on the pretzel rods. They're very low in fat. They're salted, so it hits that salt thing that you're craving for.
Yep.
It hits the mouthfeel of the crunch.
Yep.
And I've never heard of anybody, I'm talking about the pretzel rods, because not the flavored pretzels, because them things are just like chips.
Yep. Keep going.
Right? You keep
So you're
going.
not talking about like the little
I'm
pretzel
no,
rod.
I'm talking about the not the little pretzel sticks, like the full pretzel rods.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because there's a lot that goes into it. There's a mouthfeel.
Yep.
Right? There's a
crunch.
there's a crunch. There's a texture thing that goes on when you have a craving, right? Like sometimes you want a sweet, and for some people that's the ice cream. They like the cold and the creaminess. Some people want the crunch of a cookie.
Yep.
Some people want the texture of a spongy cake. Right? It's different, right? Everybody's sweet thing is different. Some like the candy, whatever it might be. But pretzel rods, you're not gonna overeat them. They're gonna hit the spot. No, I've never seen anybody smash a whole bag of pretzel rods, but you can smash a whole bag of Lay's.
So your mouth will be dry.
Right?
Be dry.
Right. You're gonna stop.
I can name
It's
a brother
limiting, right?
now
It's
in
limiting,
Phoenix.
right? It's limiting. There's something with it, right? So it's all this sensory stuff, and you kind of hack that thing, okay? And you kind of hack that thing. Now, the issue really, especially when it comes to America, is what we're going to read now, all right? It's not that you don't get enough Celtic salt. It's not that you're doing this, that, and the other. I'm going to show you what it really is. Read this from the top.
I need to share some data with you that exposes the real problem in America. The average American consumes 3,540 calories per day. The average American is overweight or obese. The average American gets less than 20 minutes of physical activity daily.
Right. So go back up. Don't move. Put it there. I needed him to read it all off, and we're going to talk about it. The real issue still boils back to you're eating too much. Give me that scripture where victuals are so good on the earth.
Yep.
Right? I'm going to show you what the scripture says. We're living in a time where we've had more food access than we've ever had in the history of mankind. And it's so convenient. You used to have to walk to the market, buy individual ingredients. Now you go in and the stuff is packaged. It's even in its packaging, it's eye-catching and this, that, and the other. You drive to the store. You grab it. You can drive through. You don't even got to get out of your car to eat anymore. You can go through a drive-through. You can even have your groceries brought to you. You don't even do the walk in the super.
Right.
At least when you walk through the aisles, you're getting a little exercise.
Burning something.
You don't do the shopping.
Now you don't even do the shopping.
Right.
You put it in a screen in your cart, and they bring it to your house.
Crazy work.
Hey, I'm so old school. My wife be asking like, "Hey, can I do an Instacart?" I'd be like, "Go to the store."
Now, don't get me wrong. We order some stuff in bulk. Some stuff is convenient, My wife will order some stuff for the house in bulk. But we still make our trips to the supermarket, right? And it's not off of something of let's go take the steps and stuff like that. But I'm just telling you the subtle ways that you think it's one thing, and the reason it's not working for you, the reason you still suck and you're not healthy and all this other stuff, is that you got to look at all these subtle ways that society is set up to enable us to be decadent. Right? To do this way. Think about the little things that it would take. You don't even got to think at least if you had to make a list to go to the supermarket, right? Let's keep it in modern times.
Right.
There's a thought process that goes into it.
Right.
Now you don't even think about it.
No.
That's why I say a lot of people eat their money. They always broke. I guarantee you that they're not being efficient. They're not thinking about, right? Like, let me give you a little secret. When I go to the supermarket, and this is going into the economic piece. And I know some people are going to judge me, but you could judge me all you want. My health speaks for itself. Occasionally, I like some ramen, right? And I let the kids have some ramen occasionally, right? There ain't nothing wrong with it. This all or nothing stuff, stop it. Stop the bullshit, because you don't all or nothing yourself either. Very few individuals are that freaking manic that it's an all or nothing approach, right? Like somebody spoke about Genesis 1:29, if you can. Guess what? Nobody can, and nobody does. Nobody does. And if you do, you're lying. I guarantee you, I followed you for a week. Your stuff is not like that, right? Could you? Should you? Genesis 1:29 is not the freaking vegan cheese and the vegan meat.
Right.
My wife texts me
Impossible
too as I
burgers.
pick up my order.
Right.
She got some stuff delivered to the house now.
You know what I'm saying? Let me hip you to something. When you go, I'm gonna give you the ramen example. I wanted some ramen. I know the kids like ramen, right? Occasionally, I want it. I want the saltiness and the ramen. I don't care what you think about the ingredients and all that stuff. Trust me, I know what I know, and I know how to apply it. So you can keep your opinions to yourself. All right. And individually, they're 59 cents each. When you buy a pack for 12, is 8 something. I always look, if you go to the supermarket, not everybody knows this, even on a sale, they have a price per ounce or gram or unit in a smaller print next to the dollar price. And if the price per ounce or unit is cheaper than the one that's on sale, so for example, it might say 35 cents on one, and it's a pack of 12, but the pack of 4 is 25 cents, I'm better off buying 3 packs of 4, and I'll save money. So I did that with the ramen.
Right.
When I got to the register, she's like, "Oh, you want me to help you?" I said, "No, I'm not scanning the whole box. I'm scanning them individually, because individually it's $1.89 cheaper."
Right.
She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, so I look at the little, that's a little trick if you go. And that's how you know if something, because a lot of people like to go to these warehouses.
Yeah. Like,
and you buy things in bulk.
Costco,
when you're comparing
Sam's.
your prices, look at the little thing, not the dollar price.
Right.
Because the price per serving is what you want to really focus on. And that's how you'll save money in the long term, doing those little things.
That's
but here's
your
my
money.
point. That was the money piece. I read labels. And not just to look for gelatin and stuff. I look at I look at the macros.
Right.
And I get it, right? Some people, it's like, damn, I ain't got the time for that. But when you're putting stuff in your cart, can you? Sometimes they'll show the label and stuff like that. But just think of the mindset that goes behind that. You're moving less. There's less thought that goes into it. You're doing it that way. When I go to the supermarket, I actually like it because it's a trip to me. And I educate myself and reinforce things while I'm there, because something will be like, damn, that looked good. And of course, never go hungry, right? We know you go hungry, it's a wrap.
Yep.
You're buying all types of stuff, right?
All of it.
Eat before you go to the supermarket, okay? But you look at labels, and not just because you're checking for gelatin, right? Or something that's unlawful according to the dietary law. You have to take ownership of this stuff and not just point it to one single thing. We overeat. That's the bottom line. Vittles are so good on the earth. Go ahead, read this.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
So this is going into that you think things are going to be good. But the point is, the scripture verifies that victuals, food, will be in abundance in the earth. And we have so many options and so much food that it creates this environment where you just kind of indulge without realizing what you're doing, right?
Yep.
Hey, don't get offended, post styles. I'm not saying vegetarian is not possible. I'm saying most people are full of shit. All right? I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your opinion on this. I know what I know. All right. And it ain't personal. It's serious. That's all it is. Because I seen what I seen at conference, and I seen where people's mindsets are. Everybody's all over the place.
Right.
Hey.
And normally I don't speak up because I know how much people defend, like they identify with their diet.
Yep.
Right? And that goes into a whole other slew of things of low emotional intelligence and other stuff like that. And they think that I'm attacking them when I attack their beliefs about their diet and their health and things like that.
Right.
I'm going to back all my stuff up with the scriptures like I always have over the shows, and with the understanding, with proper understanding of where the real issues are. Right?
That's it.
All he heard was that, yo, it's possible, fam. I literally said, if you could do it, do it. That's ideal. Right? Now, I don't believe in just being vegetarian. I think that I know for a fact you lack nutrients.
There's value in meat.
Because to do the vegetarian right means you need to source certain vegetables that are not always in season, that are not always local, to get your full spectrum of all your nutrients. So if you're going to tell me that you're doing it that way, you better make sure that it was like, because where was this? He quoted Genesis 1:20. Where was this when that was quoted?
Where was Second Ezra?
Where was Genesis 1:29?
This was back in
the Garden of Eden.
The garden when we were immortal.
When we were immortal and everything was perfect.
Right.
What happens in Genesis 4? Get that?
Yes, sir.
The earth will not yield her strength. Come on, man. Get out of here with your offenses.
You want chapter 3?
Is it 3 or 4
yeah.
where he says the earth will not yield her strength? It's 4. It's 4 and like 8. Or around there.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 7.
There it is. Go ahead.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? If thou doest not well, sin lieth at
No, that's not it. That's not it. It's Genesis 4 and where it says he'll till the ground and the earth will not need his strength.
The book of
12.
Yes, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
Right. So you cannot be a vegetarian without knowing all your nutrient requirements, your essential amino acids, your essential fatty acids. Vegetables do not have a lot of fat. Where are you getting your EFAs from?
Right.
And do you know that your EFAs from fish, right, actually are the ones that do more than the EFAs from plant-based stuff, right? So the way things are now is not like it was then. So that's what I mean when I say even if you are, that's all you eat. I guarantee you most people, I'm not saying there ain't people out there that are that extreme to do it, but the effort that it takes to meet all, I'm not even talking about diet and losing, I'm talking about all your vitamins, minerals. When something is essential, it means your body don't make it. You got to get it from your diet.
Right.
There's essential fatty acids, there's no essential carbohydrates, but there's essential proteins and essential fats that your body needs to live healthy, functionally. And if you don't know what those are and you're just picking the fruits and the vegetables that you like without considering the mineral and nutrient content, you're not doing it right.
Right.
So before you go off and get all offended, it's possible, it's not probable that people are going to be able to do it. So what I'm trying to do is simplify it and be real. You want to go somewhere and watch your favorite influencer that's telling you this, that, and the other? Go ahead.
Right.
I'm trying to show people that it's simple. I eat fast food sometimes. I eat pizza habitually.
Right.
All right. I love burgers in moderation. And guess what? When I want a healthy burger, I make my adjustments on it so that I can make it, and I don't want to say healthy, more nutritious.
Right.
Even people who live in a rural area aren't that strict. Because like me, I grew up in a country area. The closest grocery store is 50, 60 miles away.
Right.
We didn't even have that type of that instinct to be like, okay, we got everything here. No, we had to go to the freaking city every once in a while.
Right. You had to go and you traded and you knew that, listen, I'm not growing this so I can get that or whatever.
Exactly.
So how do you do it now? You have to do it in the aggregate, right? And you apply the wisdom of the scriptures, right? Which really goes back fundamentally to what? Let's go a little sufficient for men well-nourished.
Yes,
and I'm going to
sir.
show you what it says. And organic, I've gone over that on this show too. You 100% right. Organic is overblown. Organic, guess what? Some stuff organic is more nutritious. Some stuff isn't. They both use pesticides.
Right.
So if in your mind organic is more nutritious, that's not inherently true. Some things tend to be, some things don't.
Mm-hmm.
And if in your mind you think it's healthier, it's not. They use organic pesticides. Organic is and now we're finding out unless you're doing it yourself.
It's a fad.
It's not, right?
It's a marketing term.
They just throw organic
Right.
on
Hey, and not
everything.
everybody got that gift to do it yourself. You got to know how to control the bugs. You got to know how to make. I was talking about this with somebody the other day. Agriculture's not for everybody. I forgot where it might have been when we were in Chile too. We were talking about. I don't remember where it was, but I was talking with somebody about it recently, and we were saying like, you got to know, like for example, damn, why aren't my tomatoes growing? Right?
Yep.
Like it's not just plant a seed and it grows.
Officer Joshua, maybe.
Right? I might have been. I don't know. But my point is, it ain't that simple. There's nuance to it, and you got to know what you're doing if you want to do it yourself, right? And guess what? Sometimes you might have to use something like, damn, my stuff, the bugs keep getting it. I got to do it.
Yep.
That's part of the earth not yielding her strength. You think in the garden they're eating the bugs with destroying the crops?
No, sir.
Absolutely not.
Come on, man. You think your tomatoes weren't growing plump and fine the way they need to without any type of modification?
Luscious.
Right. And when I get to the healing part of the body, that's when you're going to see those things matter less when your foundation is strong. When your spiritual foundation is strong, and then your pillars are set up the way they need to be set up. They matter less. Your body's optimized to handle that because of the way the Lord made our bodies. But go ahead, read this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31, in verse 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well-nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
Now, here's the two things that people forget. What's a little? A little for you is not a little for me.
Right.
A little for you is not the same little for me, right? And I'm not talking about appetite and voraciousness, right? I'm talking about calories.
Yep.
That's really what the little is, eating within what your body needs, right?
Eating under.
Because you can undereat and be unhealthy,
Right.
Yep.
right? And then it says, for a man well nourished, focus on nutrient dense food. Get the nutrients where you can as much as possible. A lot of things are void of nutrients that are treats, but that's why they're called treats.
Right.
There's something that you give yourself periodically, right? Because the reality is there's a psychological and hormonal response that happens in your body that if you don't nourish that, it's going to trigger something, right? And then that's when you binge on the Oreos like we showed, right?
That's when your Ubers go to Club
That's
Torta.
when the Ubers go to Club Torta, right? So now let's go back to this thing here. We're not done.
You want the blue or you want the white on the bottom?
Read the blue again.
The average American consumes 3,540 calories per day.
Most of us overeat. Go ahead, come on.
The average American is overweight or
Most
obese.
of us are overweight or obese. Obese is worse. Overweight, you're heading in the wrong direction.
Right.
Right? Go ahead, come on.
The average American gets less than 20 minutes of physical activity daily.
Right. So now you're eating more than what your body needs
Right.
as far as energy expenditure. Read.
But you think seed oils explain the health crisis.
Right, because I had somebody in the group the other day, no, seed oils are definitely bad. Listen, the data is clear. All right. When they have done human randomized control trials
Right.
and they see how it actually affects people, not in a petri dish, but people who eat them.
Yep.
When you match a nutrient diet, when you apply the scriptures, right, a little is sufficient for a man well nourished.
Yep.
Seed oils actually show a benefit because of the type of fats that they are. Right? You know when seed oils are bad? In a petri dish, and when you're fat and you don't exercise. That's what seed oils are bad.
Dang.
All right? Now, because they got people going to tallow and everything. And listen, I use tallow moderately for certain things. They got people using butter. I use butter moderately for certain things.
Right.
Saturated fat is what increases your bad cholesterol.
Right.
Saturated fat is what raises triglycerides, which is the circulating fat in your blood. And those are the things that calcify and clog your arteries and cause chronic inflammation and make you drop dead.
Right. That cause fat buildups around your organs.
Yes.
It's that visceral
You
fat.
must keep your saturated fats in check. So seed oils don't have saturated fats. They're mono and polyunsaturated fats. But you got people over here like it's healthy because the French fries at Shake Shack are now in tallow. I tell you what, them freaking fries is gonna taste fire because they in beef fat.
Right,
I know when you use some tallow, that thing is delicious.
Facts.
You do some potatoes with some tallow, ooh wee. It'll sure taste good. Why? Because it's saturated fat. It's just, it has a good mouthfeel, right? Because fat has a feeling in your mouth that triggers something for you to eat more of it.
Right.
It's the texture, and then the texture triggers things in the way the Lord made us to want to do that, right? That's why things like honey and milk and those core things made us feel a certain way.
Yep.
But understand right now, the earth's not yielding forth her strength in these things. So yes, you can do the vegan thing, you can do the vegetarian thing, but unless you're accounting for all the vitamins and nutrients that you have, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. Man, Ruvain was vegan and he was always sick.
That's right.
I don't know what the hell people talk about. Anyway, go ahead. Come on.
Hey, real quick, you know what I would think too? If a brother or sister is vegan, I would think that they also wouldn't be fat.
You would think so, but cows are vegan.
I see a lot of fat vegans and vegetarians.
Right.
Exactly.
You ain't doing it right.
Right.
No.
Cows only eat grass.
They only eat grass.
But they overweight.
And they regurgitate and poop and keep eating that grass that grows from that. So,
But guess what? Their body, the way the Lord made them, that's why a freaking does a bull? Bulls are brolic, no?
Right.
Yeah, yes, they are.
What do bulls eat?
Grass. Same thing.
You cannot eat grass and think you're gonna get like a bull.
Right. Facts.
You just not.
So what that say? Right. I was about to say. So what
design.
that says is, there's more than one thing that we need for that sustainability.
Yep.
Rather than focusing on just eating grass.
Yes. That's the well-nourished.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the well-nourished. Are you in a better place if you're? I prefer. And I know people say plant-based, but I think for the general population, there are people who will do it right and account for everything and go get their blood markers and see where they're deficient. I would say, you could say I'm primarily protein-focused with the plants right there with it. Like, to me, they go hand in hand. And why the plants? Because you're going to increase your fiber intake, and it's a stronger source of vitamins and minerals, right? I'm notorious poor veggie eater. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't really know how to schnazz them up
to where it tastes good.
So I kind of just stick to the same ones. And after a while, that gets kind of, right?
Yep,
But I understand there's a large way to prepare and do that. And people who get into it, they have good ways that they do it, right? But, I mean, you will never go wrong with and it's not because carbs are bad. You actually need carbs depending on what
physical activities
you got to think of it this way. Protein is for muscle, fats are for your hormones, and carbs are your fuel.
Right. They're energy.
And depending on what your activity is, you might need more carbs, you might need less. Right. And but it's not that carbs by themselves are inherently bad, okay? But go ahead, come on, let's read this because I want to get to my other aspect of the class.
You need to get your head examined. Look, I'm not here to defend seed oils like there's some superfood. But when the average person is eating nearly 1,000 plus excess calories every single day while barely moving their body, blaming seed oils for our health problems is like blaming a paper cut for a heart attack.
Right, come on.
So here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to hear.
Yeah, listen good, family. Here's the brutal truth that nobody want to hear.
The average American is sick because they eat too much and move too little. Period.
Stop. That's it. That's all it is.
Right.
It's not the salt. It's not this. It's not because you're not vegan. It's not because you're vegetarian. You can have all the variety of the food that's lawful under the dietary law.
Yep.
As long as it's nutrient dense and it's sufficient calorie wise for your activity level, and you will maintain good health. And he's saying American statistics because some other countries it's not like that, right? Why? Because some of them it's not so easy. They can't order the groceries to be delivered to their house, right? The average American is sick because they eat too much and move too little. Period. Point blank.
It sounds like what Captain Yaden said.
Hey, and let me tell you something. No doctor is going to tell you if your body fat is in the obese range that that's just how you are and that that's okay. Unless they a fat bastard too.
Wonderfully and perfectly made.
When I go
That's
to the
BS.
doctor, and
Hey, get a new doctor. That doctor's trying to kill you if the doctor tells you that that's okay.
I was gonna say that when I go to the doctor and I see they fat, I'd be like, nah,
Bro, they lose all credibility.
I'm not coming back to you.
I told you the last doctor I went to, she was like, she was way obese, and as she was reading through like my blood panel, I'm like, I don't even want to ask you for advice. Like,
you can't even take us serious.
I don't. Yeah, and if you're not leading by example, like, what are you telling me?
Right.
That's like one of them fat employees at the gym that be like, it has strength trainer on their shirt.
Yeah,
nah,
get out of
find
here.
another job.
Now, does it mean he might not have knowledge? No, but it's hard to take somebody like that serious.
It's hard to want to pay for your service.
Yeah,
that's the part.
Right. It's like when the scriptures say, when your obedience is fulfilled, then you revenge all on disobedience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, come on.
This is what
read it from the top again.
The average American is sick because they eat too much and move too little. Period.
That's the brutal, honest truth. At the end of the day, it's less about this and that and don't eat this and don't eat that. Until you get this in check, those other little things, those are fine tuners.
Right.
Once you have the foundation established. You're focusing on that before you focusing on the real elephant in the room, so to speak. And the elephant is you fat.
Lord.
Go ahead, come on.
This is what drives me insane about the fitness industry. We keep looking for complex solutions to simple problems.
Right. Everybody's overcomplicating it. And that's my point. Right. And, listen, you want to be vegan, man, and you do it the right way and you cover all your bases. Good for you.
Do it.
Just don't be religious about it.
Right.
Some people are religious about it.
Everybody's got to be vegan now.
You want to be a vegetarian, right? And to me, fish is not a vegetarian. Vegetarian is vegetables.
It's not.
Yep.
Right? But, that's fine. Okay?
To each his own.
To each their own.
I'm pescatarian.
Right? I'm a pescatarian.
I'm a pescatarian fat vegan.
How about you, a child of God, and he made you a certain way and you just support what that says, right? How about that? Right? That's fine. Just do it the right way. And you can be a vegetarian and guess what? Still get your protein.
Yep.
Still get your exercise and still get your sleep. Right? You can be a vegan and still get but your protein needs to be where it needs to be.
Right.
It's a little harder when you're trying to get all your protein plant-based.
It's a lot
I will
harder.
tell you that.
Yeah. Protein wise, like what you got nuts, but then you got calories you got to worry about.
And then the food is so dense. So to get they'll tell you broccoli's high protein per serving.
Right.
But in order to get the equivalent of what you get from like an animal protein or dairy,
you gotta eat a lot of it.
You're gonna get too full before you can get the adequate protein. Most people. And I'm not talking about the USDA recommendation of 54 grams. That's not keeping muscle. That encourages sarcopenia and stuff like that.
Right.
You need to eat roughly 1 gram per pound of lean body weight of protein. And guess what? Sisters that are going through perimenopause and menopause, if you're not eating at least that per pound of body weight, you're contributing to all the effects that you're feeling going through the changes that you're going through.
Because muscle helps aid those processes.
Muscle aids all those processes, the PCOS, the perimenopause, the menopause.
Right.
High protein is going to alleviate some of those symptoms for you. Not all. It's more complex than that. I do understand that. I'm not a doctor, right? But I see a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it is really doctors who are worth their salt are not just going to approach it with medicine, but they're going to look at the whole thing, and they're going to tell you the whole aspect of it, right? And you remember years ago they used to say high protein would damage your kidneys. If you have healthy kidneys, you're fine.
Right.
No, if you have some sort of condition with your kidneys, then of course maybe that's going to be too much strain on your kidneys. But most people do not have kidney issues, and they can eat the high protein that's required. And you're right; it doesn't have to come all from animal. Dairy's a good source.
Yep.
And you could do it from the vegetables, but I'm telling you, it's hard. There's only but so much beans you can eat before you start getting bloated and flatulent.
Yep.
And I love beans. I love the hell out of beans. All right.
Good fiber.
Right.
And
I grew up on beans.
You've mentioned before too, D, about like when you go to the doctor and stuff, be able to advocate for yourself.
Yes.
Like have an idea of what's going on and ask questions. Don't just rely on them to read a chart and tell you stuff. Ask, okay, how can I make this better? What are some solutions? What are some supplements that may aid to what my goals are?
Right.
So stuff like that. Be able to advocate for yourself.
Right. Be able to advocate for yourself on these things.
Nobody should ever go to a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, and you don't have questions about
the doctor's not God.
Right.
No.
Don't just take what the doctor says at face value. You know what I'm saying? Don't automatically discount what they're saying.
Right.
but advocate for yourself. Right. We live in an age where the information, and once upon a time, and I can understand why it was like that, because we lacked the understanding for that.
Right.
But now we live in a time where you can kind of validate that. I mean, you can even get, trust me, your doctors are only going to order the blood work that they've been trained to order and that the insurance allows them to pay for.
It's a lot of
I highly encourage you that there's tests that I've done in the last year that have helped me without having to take medicine, tweak things about myself, maybe a supplement here or there, a dietary change. I've spoken about them before, that the doctor would have never looked at. Most doctors are not proactive or holistic. They look to fix what's broken. And guess what? They're expert at that. When there's something wrong with you already,
right.
they're able to, in the space of medicine, give some things that'll help you out. But if you're looking to maintain health, they're just not, they don't take enough of that in school.
Right.
They do get a foundational understanding of that, but they don't take enough of that in school.
It's not preventative, because then they would stop making money. They need you to get sick. They need you to be diseased.
Right. Get that health in good estate.
Yes, sir.
And they need you to not come in there with questions either, because
well, beans are high in fiber. That's really what their number one benefit is, right? Of course, they have some nutrients and things. And another issue that's chronic in the world, but especially in the Western world where we live, is that our diets are highly devoid of enough fiber. And fiber feeds the healthy gut bacteria, and in turn maximizes your immune system to be able to handle things that come their way.
Right.
That's why the focus is really the focus on vegetables is to get the fiber that you need. Beans and beans. When I say veggies, beans is part of that, because you get beans and good protein from that, right? But it's not all essential amino acids. You know what makes a good plant-based and get all the essential amino acids? Rice and beans. They kind of go, that's why they go together.
Right.
Because you get all of that, right?
Starch.
Right. And the easy way to get all your essential amino acids, just eat
meat,
some sort of animal-based protein. No, gotta be meat. It could be fish. It could be chicken.
It's still meat.
Right. Still meat. Right. I think of it, but some people think meat means only beef.
Right.
You know, but anyway, read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 15. Health and a good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth.
All right. Read it one more time.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 15.
Come on.
Health and a good estate of body are above all gold.
Come on.
And a strong body above infinite wealth.
Right. So let me tell you what prompted this. I'm going to start moving into my scriptures, and we'll go back to some videos if we have time. So I was talking with Officer Cornelius, because I have this joke with him that he's one of those where, like, he'll just say something. And I'm like, really? I'm like, how do you know that? Like, he'll be like, oh, yeah, you know, it's good to take this. I'll be like, yeah? How do you know that? Because you saw it on the internet? Like, you know, like what's the reason behind it?
Right.
And it's and I just joke with him, with Captain Cornelius. I don't think I said officer, Captain Cornelius. And because it's amazing how much we just say, oh, because it is.
Right.
Because I heard it and they said it was. And it sounded like it made sense. But you can't articulate why. Right? Like, I can articulate that because it interests me to that extent, and I'm so focused on the general health and well-being of it that I understand how these things work. Now, none of it makes a difference if you're not honest with yourself and you don't apply it diligently.
Right.
Most people, it's not that because they're dishonest intentionally. We just tend to kind of underreport how much we eat, overreport how much activity we do. It's just our perceptions are warped, right? And like, for example, somebody who's working out and doesn't track their workouts, to me, you're not seriously working out.
You can't measure it. Yeah.
If you can't measure it, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that, oh, yeah, I work out a lot and I do this and that. Got to be measurable.
Yep.
And you got to see change, right? I'm not saying you got to get these devices and stuff, but they give a lot of good data. Like, look at what you were showing about your VO2 max, which we know second to muscle is the main longevity driver. Right. And that's your body's ability to process the oxygen that it consumes, the VO2 max.
And I would have never had goals to shoot for without measuring it.
Right, without measuring it.
I wouldn't know what to improve.
Exactly. And so, like, I've I don't want to say I've maxed out my muscle potential. I think there's more that I can do. It'll just be slow. Like once I lean out some more to put on size.
Right.
But I've maxed it out as far as health benefits, I think, based on what I've seen on measurements, right? Like my Whoop with that health span, for example, it's like, as far as lean muscle mass, there's no more space. Like it's already in the top range.
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a little margin, but it won't change anything.
Right.
I'm already in the top tier, right? By a good amount. So now I'm focusing more on the VO2, right? And I'm looking to train in certain cardio zones so that I can impact that positively, right? And then, of course, what I know from the blood work with the diets and stuff like that. Like, I found out that my ferritin was low, and I was surprised. But then it kind of made sense because I stopped eating as much red meat. And it just kind of, because I haven't been cooking it, it's not any type of, because red meat's bad for you or anything. And I realized, and that was like a big source of iron for me. And then I don't eat enough leafy greens, which is another source of iron. So, like I said, damn, I got to try to do something to get my iron up, right? There's certain foods I need to eat. But anyway, my point is that I know because I value what this scripture says, right? It's above all gold. So I was talking with Cornelius, and I just happened to say, I said, think about it. I said, if you really think about it, from medicine to herbs, the body heals itself.
Yep.
There's nothing really that they do, that they give you, that cures you. It's your body that does the work. And so I said, of course, I went to GPT to have this discussion.
Right.
And I'm actually just going to read verbatim what my question was to it. And it's confirmation, and that I did some research on and confirmed. And I'm going to pair this with the scriptures for you today. So this is what I told GPT. This was my question. Examining the way the human body essentially kind of heals itself and repairs itself, would it be fair to say that any modern medicine is really just supportive of the natural healing process? Is anything really a cure versus curative? And it said, yes, most modern medicine is not a true cure in the absolute sense, but rather a support or facilitator of the body's innate ability to heal and repair itself. In that sense, medicine is generally curative, not a cure in isolation. And if you think about it, everything they give you is to support what your body does. I'll use cancer for an example. The reason cancer has become such a thing is because there's no vaccine, there's nothing for it. So how do they treat it? They try to attack it, and while they attack it, they can't selectively only attack the cancer. It affects healthy cells as well.
Yep.
This is why you wind up with these other issues. But what they try to do is put your body in a position where they shrink those tumors or remove them so that then your immune system
kicks in.
And that's why most of the cures that they're working on, if they ever come up with a vaccine for cancer, are focused on your body identifying it as a different cell. And because anything foreign your body attacks. Cancer's not like that. Even though it's cells that have mutated and are turning over, right, out of control, out of speed of the metabolic rate.
Right.
Your body doesn't recognize it as an issue, so it doesn't attack it. Your immune system is a gift from God that's above all gold. It's been set up to help you in every way. And what happens is, most of the time, what chronic inflammation is your body on overdrive trying to fight something. I'll give you another example of how it can be bad. Dental hygiene. Your gums are bleeding. That's not normal.
Right.
If you washed your hands and they bled, you would go to the doctor. You wash your mouth, you brush, whatever, and it bleeds, and you treat it like that's normal. That's not normal, brothers and sisters. That's nasty, first of all, when you understand what's really causing it.
But they tell you that.
Right. But we don't listen.
Yeah.
So what happens is your body, the bacteria lies below the gum line. It builds up. It overpopulates. Your immune system attacks it. But since it's an open wound, your gums are open. It's not a wound that can close. It stays in this constant inflammatory state where your body's sending inflammatory markers, white blood cells, and everything there to attack it, and it can't do anything against it.
Hence gingivitis.
Or worse, periodontal disease. What winds up happening is you go to the dentist, they scrape that stuff off your teeth, And then your body finishes the process at that point. And those gums heal, they close up, they get tighter on the tooth again, and now you're in a state of health until you continue your bad habits and you let the bacteria and you're back in the same boat.
Right.
All they did was support the body's natural response to heal that. Likewise, it's almost anything that happens in the body. Now, you know, they replace organs and things like that now, but even those things then have issues, because what happens when you have an organ transplant? You have to take immunosuppressants because your body recognizes it as foreign. They try to get as close a match as possible, but your body...
It can reject it.
It can reject it.
Yep.
So the body heals itself, and the Lord made it that way, right? So the human body has an extraordinary capacity for tissue regeneration, right? So you have skin turnover, you get these cuts, and unless it's something so severe, what do they do when it's severe? They stitch it.
Yep.
And what do the stitches do? They just hold it together so that the body can do what it needs to do.
Right.
Did they heal you, or did your body do it?
The body
right?
did it.
So you got me sitting here thinking about when I broke my arm, right? I broke my entire left arm. All they did was I had surgery. They put 2 pins here, 2 pins here to hold that bone back in place.
So that your body can do what it needed to do.
Exactly. So now, you know, I have the ability to move my wrist again. But they didn't do anything special.
Right.
All they did was just put me to sleep, knock some pins in me.
They figured out a way to do that so that your body can do what it needs to do.
Yep.
Immune defense. It's incredible. Foreign bodies enter into your body, and your body goes on overdrive, and it even has a memory so that it can remember that disease next time.
And more effectively.
And more efficiently fight it off so that you don't even get symptoms.
It's heavy.
That's the whole basis of vaccines.
I was about to say, that sounds like a vaccine.
That's the whole basis of vaccines, right? Detoxification. Your body does it by itself. Kidneys clean the blood, right? Liver filters out different things.
Yep.
Right? You have your spleen that also filters things out. You have lymph nodes that filter out sickness and disease. Your body sweats, not just to cool yourself down, but also to release certain things from your body.
Toxins.
Yeah.
That's why my gripe when you say, "Oh, I'm doing a detox."
Yeah, man.
Your body does that from
It
the
does
day
it for you.
you are formed to the day you die.
That heavy.
And if you optimize yourself with all these little health things and everything that we're speaking about, it operates efficiently.
Yep.
So then that cleanse is more
It's
of
a
an
lie.
aid. It's an
It's
aid
a lie.
to help.
Cleanses are a lie. I'm
Bro.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you today. I'm offending people.
That's mental for you.
No, a cleanse is not a lie. Listen to it.
Is it mental for you?
A cleanse is a lie.
No.
A cleanse is a lie. Might there be some benefit? Yes, there's been benefits shown to the fasting component or whatever it is.
Yep.
There's some supportive elements to some of the herbs and things that you might take while you do one of those things. But it's not detoxing you. It's not cleansing you.
Right.
Those herbs have some sort of effect on you. I'll give you an example, the cherry juice. You know why the cherry juice makes you crap all day when you drink a whole bottle of cherry juice?
I've never done it.
There's a component in the cherry juice that agitates your stomach and it makes you crap. It's not because you were sick and you had something inside of you.
Right.
It's a natural laxative.
Same thing the herbs do.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a laxative effect. And it makes you think that it's doing something. Oh, it's cleaning me out. Your body, God, you're telling me God made you messed up that you can't clean up? No, and then the other line is, no, it's not that God did, it's that the foods and stuff like that.
Please.
So then you detox and then go back to that same way that you're eating?
Right. Boy.
Return to your vomit.
Right?
Jeez.
So you have ways that you support the natural processes of the body.
Right.
That's really what happens there. Right? Remember what I said. Is it the herbs? Is it the doctor? Or is it God? Right? Even medicine is just supportive. Herbs are just supportive of what your body does.
Right.
So can you support your body in some of these processes? Yes. Are they the reason that those things? No, your body detoxes on the regular. Right? You're on the regular. I'll give you another example. Most medicines are concentrations of what's found in nature.
Yes.
Think of antibiotics. They don't synthesize them without finding a new one in the earth. in the dirt and things like that. Most medicines, statins, I'll give you an example. Statins help lower the cholesterol. You know where statins, they got that from red yeast rice extract, and they have an ingredient in there that they now, most of them take it out because it's illegal in the States because the medicine companies want to make money on statins.
Right.
And what they did is they find that concentrated thing. So, for example, turmeric, everybody's going crazy for curcumin, right?
Yep.
Because that's what they found is the active ingredient in the turmeric. Most medicines, if you look them up historically, were derived from something in nature.
Right.
What they did was they figured out its chemical structure and then they synthesize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, wherever you fall with that and what you feel about that, that's fine. But, you know, Tylenol works. Ibuprofen works.
Big fact.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the thing with medicine, when I took pharmacology in school, every medicine has a side effect.
Right.
Every medicine has a side effect from the smallest. Even ibuprofen, something as mild as your stomach bleeding because it irritates the stomach lining. Now, it's not like bleeding like you're going to die out or anything like that. But everything has a side effect. It's just what's the cost-benefit ratio of taking these medications and doing that stuff.
Right.
Hey, you want to know what supports that too? Like all the medications coming from nature during, you know, the time of our forefathers when they had headaches and whatnot. They didn't have Tylenol. They didn't have ibuprofen.
No, they didn't.
They had nature.
But they
had these natural
knew
remedies.
what that active ingredient was.
Right.
Here's the issue with that nowadays, and I've spoke about this before. Some people have issues to herbs because of a lack of exposure to them through our lives. And they can be very deadly for some people. You have to be mindful of the herbs. And understanding that the earth don't yield her strength, herbs many times by themselves are not as curative as we want them to be.
Right.
Because they're not as potent as they once were.
Right.
Yep.
I'm all for
And
it.
that's
I'm
that
all for the
synthesized.
remedies. Right. I'm all for the remedies. My caution is this. Let's say you say, I don't want to take Tylenol and your baby's running a fever. What are you really going to give them safely to deal with that?
Right. And
They'll die from the fever before the negative effect from any Tylenol.
Right.
you don't want to give them what we have now because you don't trust it. But what else is there for
Right.
you to do?
Hey, you see it in the news all the time. And you got these fringe people that won't do it and the kid dies. And, you know, you go to jail for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's child negligence.
Yeah, you go to jail for that. Like, and it's considered like manslaughter.
Yeah.
In some states, it's considered murder. And again, I'm not here. You do what you're gonna do. I'm just trying to put your mind in a frame of mind to understand where all these things play a part. And I think ultimately, as we bring it home and when we go towards the end of the show, is understanding that healing is of the Lord.
Right.
And that by that is because He's made the body to heal itself. Sometimes it just needs a little help. So not even your herb heals you.
Right.
It just gives your body something that it needs to do what it can do on its own.
Little kickstart.
Little kickstart, right? A little kickstart. And this is my mindset on herbs. Most medicine only treats symptoms. They're not really cures for things.
Yep.
So you can take them to ease symptoms and then use your herbs to support the functions in your body to help you heal. But a lot of times, and then stay on some sort of regimen of healthy eating. Because let me tell you, if you're eating like crap and all the other things we spoke about at the beginning of the show are not in check, how much you think herbs is going to help you?
Not at all.
Your body's not optimized.
Right. Back same situation.
Yeah. You can't even absorb the nutrients because your body's not in a place where it's shuttling them to the right places.
That's heavy.
So you want to be able to focus on optimizing that foundation first and then use these other things in support with the faith of the Lord. Some of you have more faith in your herbs and your pills than you do in God.
Fix it, Jesus.
Some of you have more faith in your herbs and your pills than you do in God. And we're gonna pull all that out. You got something you want to bring now?
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16.
No, I'm bringing it later.
Yeah, I was about
Yes,
to
sir.
say. I've been
I'm bringing
saying
it later.
I'm like,
I got it. I'm bringing it later.
Yes, sir.
I got my list of scripts that we're gonna hit. All right.
Yes, sir.
So, if somebody's wondering where I stand on it, I stand on faith first,
Right.
right, and then whatever else is gonna help me support my goal. And guess what? I use some herbs and I use some medicine too when I need to. All right. That's why the scripture talks about honor the physician.
Right.
But I try to avoid having to fall into the hands of physician as much as possible. You know the number one way I avoid that? Staying out of sin.
That's heavy. That's necessary.
Stay out of sin. We're gonna talk about that a little bit, a little further down.
Yep.
Stay out of sin. That's your number one thing. Stay out of sin, right? And then build a healthy foundation so that you're more resilient, so that you're not always sick, like a Shire and Rouvain. And everybody else who's always sick.
Can I get a script real quick?
Hold on. Here's the other thing. Your body fights for balance and restoration. It's called homeostasis.
Yep.
That's why, and I'm going to offend another group here. You cannot keep your body in an alkaline state.
What if you drink a bunch of alkaline water?
Your body will turn it into the pH that your body is.
So the alkaline water is like...
Once it hits the stomach, it's not alkaline anymore.
Dang.
The pH in your stomach is acid.
Interesting.
Different parts of your body have different pHs, and your body fights to keep homeostasis because God made it that way. That's what they base the balanced pH on.
Right.
When you look at the pH scale of what's a strong base and what's a strong acid,
Yep.
right? So alkalinity, because too high alkalinity has a similar effect on the body as an extreme acid. There's a homeostasis that your body wants to get to. Now, are there some benefits from eating alkaline food? Sure. Guess what? There's benefits from eating acidic food. What happened to the vinegar? Everybody went on the vinegar craze, right? Drink apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar,
right?
yep.
Like if it
Lemon
was some
water.
magic, right? Yes. Is there some supportive benefits from it? But your body does the work.
Right.
You just got to optimize your body and help it with its homeostasis, and it's going to do what it needs to do.
I used to be like that. I was apple cider vinegar crazy.
Right. And then everybody's drinking vinegar, right? Yeah. So is it alkaline or is it acidic? Which one you need to be?
You know what I'm saying?
Which one's bad for you? Listen, we can all agree that chronic inflammation is the source of all sickness, but your body is what creates inflammation in response to what you do to it and what you feed it. So if you put yourself in a place where you keep it in equilibrium, which it's the pH it wants to be, then you'll be fine.
Right.
Alkaline water, people can get mad at me, is one of the biggest shams. They make you pay $3,000 for a machine for alkaline water, and the minute it hits your stomach, it turns acidic because your stomach has a pH of like 3 and change or 4 and change or something like that.
This is true.
Where you would have been better off taking that $3,000 and pay for a qualified trainer, or get a home gym system so that has training programs that teach you how to work out, than buying a machine. Because you're drinking alkaline water, but you're still drinking acidic alcohol every week.
Yep.
Pepsi's, Coke.
You're still drinking acidic, right? Like it's all bullshit. Sprite. Like everybody who does this stuff, very few people do it devoutly.
Right.
It's all BS. It's all BS. And what it really does is it overcomplicates it for the general population.
Yep.
And then they just, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything.
Right.
Right.
And then we continue this cycle of unhealthy.
That's that oversaturation.
Listen, I'm on a mission to make Israel healthy again.
That's right.
And if you want to listen, you listen. Most of the time I stay quiet. Because like I said, I know people are going to get offended. You have your ideals.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. I think I saw it somewhere. Emotionally intelligent people, they don't want to be right. They just want to be understood. You understand the distinction? This is why I don't argue with people. And this is why I won't try to, if I see how somebody is, I ain't even going to touch that. Because I don't care. Like my strength is not in being right. I know what works. Right? I have an understanding of it. I'm not saying I have all the answers. Right? But I know what works, especially in this space. And people who have a low EI, they're more focused on being right than actually being understood.
Right.
Yeah.
And I usually, if I ever do rarely engage with somebody that's like that, I'll try to get them to make me understand, and they can't even articulate why their beliefs make sense. Like their thing is just like, usually how it ends is, well, yeah, that's Esau's thing, so that's why. Or yeah, that's, you could believe that. I'm gonna believe what we can agree to disagree.
Right.
And we could.
They find themselves not prepared to answer all the questions that you have. Because I've seen it. And, one thing I can say, you're going to ask some questions.
Yeah, sometimes it's just funny to me. So I'll ask. When somebody makes a statement, I'll be like, I'll give you an example. My wife would try to give me remedies for stuff, and it's not that I'm against them, but I would tell her, "Can you explain to me how it works, or at least let me know what the actual ingredients are, so I can look it up how it works."
Mm-hmm.
And if it says what it says, then I'm good with it. I'll work with it, But sometimes, like, she would make some wild statements like, "Clean your blood." My body cleans the blood through my kidneys every minute of every day. But the thing was, it's not that she meant wrong. She was talking about these supportive things that'll help the process of something. Right. That's what's going into it.
But you got to be able to articulate that.
So look, wounds close, bones knit, like you brought out. Infections are fought off, right?
Yep.
Damaged cells are consistently recycled and replaced.
Right.
Okay.
Fasting.
All without any conscious input. All without any conscious input. This is self-healing, and it's always been the baseline. You wanted to bring something out, you said?
Sirach 2 and 10, if you didn't have that on your list.
No, I don't think I do. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let me get that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Look at what our forefathers were doing. They didn't have all of these things that we have today. They had to have faith and trust in the Lord in some of their situations.
Right.
Like when some of them laying on their deathbeds, or like, a family member fell sick, they had to have that faith and that trust that, okay, these are the remedies that we have. These are the herbs that we have. They had those. They trusted in the Lord. And what did it say?
Look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Were they ever confounded? No, because they had faith in the Lord. Read.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
They abided in his fear. Like you said, they were without sin, so they weren't forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
He never despised any of our forefathers that called upon him, kept that faith. So that's all I had on that, D. They weren't confounded.
Hey, all praises. Jemima Judith says she's a chemist and she tries to explain and people don't get it. Hey, and that's heavy because chemistry really blew my mind and increased my faith even more.
Yeah.
When I remember when I had to take chem and organic chem when I was in school, and I was extremely fascinated, and it made me have a better appreciation for the scripture and the Lord, and the funny thing for me is that everything has a chemical structure. So when people say chemicals, guess what? Water's a chemical too. It has a chemical bond.
Yes, it is.
And a chemical structure. But people don't understand that. What they really mean when they say chemicals, they're talking about artificial things and man-made things.
Yep.
But they just kind of regurgitate what they hear and whatever. And then that puts a blocks in your mind to be able to learn and understand this stuff, right? So what does medicine really do then? Right? If we're trusting in the Lord. So most medical interventions work by what? They reduce barriers to healing.
Yep.
They stabilize your environment, bring you back to homeostasis. Right? So that your body can better fight certain diseases, right? What's one of the main things you do if you have to go to the hospital? They get you an IV.
Yep.
Because when you're
Liquids.
properly hydrated, your body operates more efficiently. Well, that's another thing that's chronic. Most of us don't hydrate enough, right?
Especially in Arizona.
Right. Okay. Sometimes they'll do things that replace or mimic body functions, right? So when you go on dialysis, okay, or when you do something like blood transfusions or things like that, right?
Or those blood cleansings.
They
do now.
So it's something that, again, supports the body. Or it'll trigger or amplify the healing response, like vaccines, for example, right? And I'm not saying all vaccines are good. Some of this stuff has other things in it. Like them mRNA vaccines, I'm not on board for any of them.
Way it attacks
I
the blood
think
and-
it's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
When you start dealing at the DNA level, and I have a foundational understanding of that stuff,
you trying to play God.
It's a lot of unknowns over the longer span of doing these things. And, they're not reporting on it as much, but you're seeing a lot of people who took them COVID vaccines. It went under the radar. They finally admitted that it caused and agitated, for people who already had it, heart inflammation.
Yep. It was called arterial something, but your arteries are affected to where it stops your body from cycling blood properly.
Right.
Crazy.
Your arteries get stiffer and you want them to be pliable, right?
Yep.
Like I have a blood pressure device that it goes beyond just blood pressure. It measures like central blood pressure and arterial blood pressure, so that you can see the basically the ranges that it gives you, lets you see the flexibility of your blood vessels and things like that. So blood pressure is just one marker, and it's not good to have it high.
Right.
But sometimes it's high for different reasons.
Right.
That might not be a chronic type of thing, right? Like our blood pressure is never the same all the time.
Always fluctuating.
Right. It's always fluctuating. I didn't know that there was other measures that they can check for, and they usually don't because of time and the way the health system is set up.
Nope.
But there's a blood pressure device that I got that measures all that. And so if my blood pressure is ever transiently high, and by high I mean a few points here or there, if everything else is in the green, I'm not freaking out.
Right.
I know there must be something going on, stress, tiredness, high caffeine, whatever it might be in that moment. Maybe it's something I ate the night before or whatever it is. And I know it's not a chronic type of thing because the rest of it's good, right? I also did my calcium score. I know where that is, right? With calcium scores to see if you have any type of calcification and how much in the artery that supplies the heart, right? There's all different types of things that you can do to kind of stay on top of these things and see what's going on.
You know what I noticed though, Deacon, is how informed and aware you are about your body. So instead of trying to turn a blind eye, or that great war of ignorance that talks about in Wisdom of Solomon, you actually intentionally seek out the areas that may not look the best in the moment, and then you actively course correct.
It's fascinating to me, not just from what would be called a scientific standpoint, but from the perspective of the Lord. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you some verses today that are going to make you think about them a little differently. I'm just laying the foundation in this first, so when we read those scriptures, now you can see them a lot deeper. Right? And realize this, that a lot of the terms we have today, they didn't have or understand it then, but they had the faith of what they knew the effect was. And that's why they knew, like, for example, when somebody got sick, they didn't call it quarantine, but they knew that they had to be outside the city for a while. Right?
A time of separation.
They knew that cleanliness. Why do you think dirty people, right, had to be put out? Where's that verse? I always forget where it is. Is it in Deuteronomy? Where it says that if he hadn't bathed, he can't come back till he bathes and put him out. You know what I'm talking about?
I can find it.
I brought it out when I was getting on the brothers who don't wash their ass, and I forgot where it is. I think it's in the law. It's in the law.
Let me see.
It talks about like when somebody was dirty, how they had to be put out, because they know that filth can also foster disease, right? So you got to get rid of that out of amongst the body and stuff like that. So there were certain things that they knew, right, that had to be done for different diseases and stuff like that. So what does medicine really do? While y'all look for that, ask GPT, he'll find it in a second. Most medical interventions work by what? Reducing barriers to healing.
I got it.
They stabilize the environment, like I said. They replace or mimic body functions, or they trigger or amplify healing responses. In all these cases, medicine doesn't replace the body's role. It enhances or restores it. So is anything really a cure? Antibiotics cure bacterial infections, but how do they really do it? They're not really curing them. They reduce the load, so then your body does the rest. Right? Your body finishes it up at the end.
It's not so inflamed.
Right. They help kill them. So again, to me, it's still supportive. Surgical removal of tumors, technically, if you really think about it, that's still supportive.
Right.
Because it took out the thing that your body wasn't able to identify and attack, and it gives your body a chance to heal. Right? And then they say vaccines preventing disease, but I don't think that's a cure either. Because what it does is it trains your immune response to deal with it. Right. So even those depend on the body doing the final work, clearing the tissue, adapting, or building the immunity up. So you got to look at it like this. The body is the healer, which is really God.
Right.
Because God made us. The body is the healer.
Right.
Medicine is the guide. It's the crutch, like when you're on crutches. And it's the catalyst, but it's not the creator of healing. That's what it means when the scripture says healings of the Lord. You got that verse about the cleanliness?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 10. If there be among you any man that is not clean
if there be any among you a man that is not clean by what?
By reason of uncleanness.
By reason of uncleanness, he did not wash his ass. Go ahead, come on.
That chanceth him by night. Then shall he go abroad.
So you happen to smell him in the middle of the night. Go ahead, come on.
Then shall he go abroad out of the camp.
He gotta get out of the camp. Go ahead, come on.
He shall not come within the camp.
He shall not come within within the camp. Go ahead, come on.
But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water.
He shall wash himself with water, and that meant soap too. All right? Go ahead, come on.
And when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again.
Get that? Well, wash me with hyssop, and I'll be clean, so that they know. So don't think,
Wipe your
just
ass,
water.
nigga.
It meant soap too.
Right.
When water was mentioned, it was understood that water had to have
That
soap.
you have soap to
Right.
wash.
You can't just go and rinse off. You got to throw some soap. Go ahead, read this.
The book of Psalms, chapter 51 and verse 7.
Come on.
Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow.
Right. Wash me is the water part. So you used hyssop, right? Now we have different soaps. Go back to where we were in Deuteronomy.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 10.
A lot of y'all didn't know this was in the Bible. I'm telling you, that Bible covers all things, right? Go ahead, come on.
If there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness.
Meaning he didn't wash his ass. He's dirty. All right. Some sisters be stinky funky like that too. Go ahead, come on.
That chanceth him by night.
You happen to catch a whiff. Go ahead, come on.
Then shall he go abroad out of the camp.
Then he needs to be put out. All right. He needs to be put out. Go ahead, come on.
He shall not come within the camp.
You cannot come back until when?
But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water.
Right. He shall wash his ass. Go ahead, come on.
And when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp
And
again.
then he cleaned, right? Then he can clean.
You can't come back till you wipe your
Wipe your ass and then come back. All right.
Dang.
So don't be stinky, and that means wash your clothing too. I mean, I did the whole show on that. I'm not going to turn this into that. But the reason I brought that out is that the Lord and we had the understanding of how to deal and maneuver when there was diseases, when there was filth amongst us, right? You got to be cleanly so that you can do that.
Even with leprosy, there were certain like precautions
Bedding
we had
too.
to. Yep.
Hey, that's heavy with the bedding, because even if you don't think you dirty, we don't change our sheets nearly enough.
Right.
I think they said sheets really need to be changed like every few days.
Dang.
If you really trying to be on it,
Right.
right? And then think about it. Some of you don't take the nighttime shower, and then you go to sleep.
Yep. Yep.
And then now you got your filth on your sheets, and then you don't change your sheets. If you're a single brother, maybe every month, if that. Maybe I'm being generous, right? Some of you don't change your towels enough. You'll rock a towel for 2 weeks.
And it's all dead skin.
And it's all dead skin cells and stuff like that.
Crazy.
There's a lot of little nuanced stuff that we don't do. We don't wash right? So you think about it, right? It's crazy. It's
I put
wild.
that class in the chat too, manly or musty.
Oh, manly or musty.
I put it
Okay, there you go. Bring that out. So let me get some scripts now, right?
Let's get it.
The body heals because God made it that way. Let's get Psalm 139 and 14. Now that we've established that, now when you read this, because in Christian church they read this,
Hallelujah.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. She talking provocative. She trying to get some D when the church sister say that.
Right.
139:14. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Come on.
Marvelous are thy works.
Look at what a way we just established and showed you how the body heals itself. Everything that it does. It's not your herb. It's not your pill. Those things are supportive. But healing comes of the Lord. It's the Most High in his perfection. When he made us that we sustain, even in this weakened state.
Right.
So think about that. If he can make our body to heal and regenerate, right? And I know it's not on the level of like growing a limb back now. How do you think he made us immortal? Like, how could you believe that he made us immortal once and he can make us immortal again, but you think it's your herbs and your medicine that makes you whole?
That's heavy.
And I'm not saying don't use those things. I'm saying those things mixed with your faith will go a long way.
Right.
It makes your support system that much stronger.
And it supports what he already innately did to us. Right? Go ahead. Read this from the top again.
I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Think about that. How wonderfully made we are. Bones mend, tissues regenerate, viruses get fought off.
Right.
And when you optimize yourself, when you meet those foundations of health, like, why do we sleep? And if you think about it, why is it so necessary? You could die eventually and your body gets worse. It is proven over time, sleep is cumulative, and poor sleep habits over time decreases your longevity.
That's one of the biggest.
So even if you feel good for all you, I'm straight with 5 or 6 hours,
right?
You are not optimal. Would you not want to be optimal so that your body that's fearfully and wonderfully made can do what it needs to do?
Right.
Right? Were you going to say something else?
That's one of the biggest metrics that affects your whoop age on the tracker. Like sleep consistency. It's not even that you get the full 7 or 8.
That's one of the heavier markers, the consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine is all over the place. And
Because your body likes homeostasis. It wants a rhythm. It wants a rhythm. That's why I say like people who work them third shifts, them overnights.
Right.
Even with good habits, you're fighting something that your body wasn't made for. The Lord made our rhythm to work with the sun and the moon. Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Remember, the sun nourishes us. We get that vitamin D.
Yep.
That has a lot of benefits for various nutrition as well as immune function and things like that.
Yep.
And then if you're darker skinned, you need more exposure to get the vitamin D that you need,
Exactly.
right? So nowadays we got to wind up supplement. Let me tell you, if you feel that you're run down, fatigued all the time, and you're getting enough sleep, you're exercising right, you're eating right, your faith is strong, and you're still having issues, go check your vitamin D levels.
Yep.
You might be surprised, especially if you're darker and you know you're not out in the sun like that all the time. But go ahead, come on, read.
That cured COVID
Verse.
a lot.
Yeah, vitamin D and C. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 15. Verse 14, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well.
Right. Your body, your soul knows deep down inside, right? Your soul knows deep down inside. It's us who gets all crazy and we try to do different things, right? And we don't understand. Let's get Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. Ecclesiastes 3 and 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Jump to verse 3.
Verse 3, a time to kill and a time to heal.
And a time to heal. And a time to heal, right? That's all I wanted on. There's a time to heal. And what do you think one of the things when they tell you to heal is get some rest?
Right.
Why do you need to get some rest?
Knock it out. Let the body work.
Let the body work. To drink fluids.
It's heavy.
Get your vitamins. Do that stuff. You know, now you could get in-home IVs that support your healing.
No,
I remember, I forgot, I don't know if it was the flu or something I had one time real bad.
And they come to you.
And I did it one time. And they put a little ibuprofen in the IV too. So it hits a little different.
Hello.
So you feel a little all right in the moment. And then it's supportive of what you're doing. And they have different things that you could put in there that'll kind of help. And it's not just hydration. They put minerals and things in there that are supportive. You could get a super vitamin D boost. You can get antioxidants in there and things like that kind of help your body do what it needs to do.
That's heavy.
Right? That kind of help your body do what it needs to do.
So is it like an RN that just comes out, or a phlebotomist?
It's an RN. They're usually all RNs, or they're what's the other one? The one that's for ambulances? They're not an RN.
I thought it was RNs.
No, not all. No, they're a type of nurse too, but it's a different type.
Maybe an LPN. You got a
LPN. It's an LPN.
Yeah.
It's an LPN because you have RNs. LPNs a little lower than the RN.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of ambulatory services are LPNs.
Okay.
LPNs. And when I say lower, I just mean as far as the hierarchy of nursing, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have an NP, which is above both of them, which is almost like a physician. But. Yeah. Right, so you do that. Yeah, but EMTs, a lot of them are LPNs too. So, but an LPN is who does the IVs, in-home IVs. You know, you got to pay for those things out of pocket, and it's kind of a...
But depending on the severity, it may be worth it.
I think so. I know I found it kind of beneficial, you know, when it was done.
Everything is on wheels nowadays.
Right.
It's crazy.
So there's a time to heal. There's a time for every season, and there's a time that it takes. That's why we knew, like, this one has to go out for 7 days. This one goes out for this. And then they give you these timelines. And now they've studied it, so they know, like, look, skin takes... I remember when I was in school, we were talking about the different skin turnover. Like, there's the skin on your body, the skin, your oral skin, and how fast it turns over for healing, right? Considering all things being optimized, right? And how the body deals with these things and all that stuff like that. And it's amazing. Like, it's unbelievable. And then now they have such a grasp of it that they offer, like, there's different supplementations. They know that the mitochondria age and don't recycle as good as you get older. So now they have things that help support your mitochondria. But none of those things work if the foundational things aren't there.
Right.
Those are add-ons to optimize, which goes back to what did I say about salt earlier? Everybody's up in arms about this salt stuff, right? And let me tell you the bullshit with the sauce. The salt. What did I say? I told you to remind me.
Yes, sir. It's right here.
Read it.
Celtic salt. It's called salt, not the other trace nutrients in the salt.
Right. So, for example, you're taking the Celtic salt because supposedly it has all these minerals and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But if you want more magnesium or more iodine, why don't you just take foods that have more magnesium and iodine? Or why don't you just take the supplement directly instead of buying something called salt to get magnesium? Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
That's like buying fake meat for a hamburger. If I want beef, not the fake beef.
Right. That Wagyu.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that salt doesn't have those things, but the amount of salt, because it's salt, not those minerals,
right,
that you would have to eat to get the minerals to be impactful, you're better off eating the vegetables that have those minerals. Do you see how retarded we can be?
Yeah.
And look, you want to spend your money on some more expensive salt, go right ahead. Costco got potato chips with pink Himalayan salt. I guess that makes them healthier. I could get some minerals with my greasy potato chips.
Still processed. Right.
But they got pink salt. Don't be offended. You want to spend more money on your salt, go right ahead.
But that's all they see, though. They don't see nothing else past Himalayan salt.
Right. Go right
Nothing else
ahead.
considered.
Go right ahead. Literally think about it. The main ingredient is salt. And you're eating the salt and you're spending more money on the salt because it allegedly has some type of minerals in it, when you can spend that money on the vegetables or the supplements that have those minerals. That makes no sense.
Right.
It does not make sense. Look at the chips. That's the chips.
And
making me want some chips now, though. I'm sure they taste pretty good.
They're kettle corn too, so it's even healthier.
They're kettle, right? Oh, look at that. They're kettle chips, and they have Himalayan salt. Must be good. It's gonna counteract the overload of calories and saturated fat.
Because you're gonna eat the whole bag.
You're gonna eat at least half that bag,
right?
Because the texture, the taste,
the flavor
is gonna hit.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit, right?
That goes back to what you said earlier about people not taking the time to actually read the labels. Even if you don't have the time to read it for whatever reason may be, there's apps out there you can scan, pull up all the information.
But that's my main issue with the salt. Is like, first of all, you ain't got nothing else in order, and then you're focusing on salt, and then you're paying all this extra money. Because how much is Celtic salt compared to regular salt? What's the price of that Celtic salt that you put up? Can you put that up? Like, that's the heal-all. And remember, the reason they're taking the Celtic salt is because the Celtic salt has minerals in it.
Right. Yep.
But the main ingredient is salt. How much is this Celtic salt? $7.19. But I could get salt. I could get a pound of salt for like 89 cents if I get the store brand.
Dang.
And then I could take them extra dollars and buy the veggies that's rich in magnesium and iodine and selenium and everything else.
It'd be good.
Things that you can mix the salt with.
Right. Look at that. I could get 4 pounds of salt for $4.49. Crazy work. But I'm gonna get 1 pound of salt for damn near $8.
Right.
Because allegedly it has all these minerals in it. You could eat that whole bag of salt in one sitting. You don't do it, you'll drop dead. And you still won't get the nutrients that you're looking for that you could actually get in a meal or a supplement that's exactly that mineral.
Right. So if you were well nurtured,
it
don't really
don't make sense.
Dang.
It don't make sense. And some of you are like, I'm taking the Celtic salt and it's making me feel good. Placebo's a real thing.
Right, because you have faith in it. You got more faith in the salt than you got in God.
Yeah, man.
That's heavy.
Damn.
That heavy.
Crazy work. Exodus 15:26. God is the source of all healing. Then I want Wisdom of Solomon 16:12.
Yes, sir.
Get that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 26. I got it? Yeah. And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians.
Right.
For I am the Lord that healeth thee.
Right. I am the Lord that healeth thee. I am the Lord that healeth thee. It's the Lord God that heals you. Right? It's the Lord God that heals you. Hey, sis, I feel you, but I don't know if you saw what I said in the beginning about seed oils. Seed oils is not the problem by themselves at all. At all. Because chips and beef tallow or saturated fat are worse. It's not the seed oils. It's the overeating. It's everything else.
Lack of movement, lack of exercise.
Right.
Yeah, here's my argument for the seed oils. Go back to Genesis 1:29.
Yes, sir.
We're just looking at stuff, and I've done this in detail. I've showed people that have explained the studies way better than I can, from people who have way more understanding than I do on these type of things. And seed oils are not the issue when you compare it to people who are keeping their body in a supportive, balanced state. Right. Seed oils by themselves are not the issue. People keep overeating, and they don't exercise, and they don't sleep right, and they drink more than they should. Okay, read this.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth.
Come on.
And every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
Right. So how can you tell me that seeds in any form are bad?
I mean, he said he gave it to us to eat.
Even with them not yielding their strength or whatever.
Right.
That's like people that say don't eat fruit is bad for you because it's high in sugar.
Or GMO.
Or it's GMO. How could seeds be bad for you?
Right.
If what we just read about fruit and stuff with seeds.
Well, and God said, I gave that to you.
I gave that to you.
So now you're going against God?
It's not the seed oils. It's not the seed oils. That's not the catalyst.
Right.
If they find any type of correlation, it's not the cause.
Right.
Usually the people that show issues with the seed oils is because, that's why I say if you take one group that's doing all the foundational stuff healthy and they consume seed oils, and you take another that's not and they consume seed oils, the group that's not doing the other stuff, that goes to show you that's not the seed oils. It's the other stuff that they're doing.
Right.
It's like those same studies with diet soda. And they say that people, like they've shown people with diet soda that they gain more weight. But a lot of times that's the people that order the number 5 supersized and they just do a diet drink.
The calorie, yeah, the calorie intake is
calories,
so high.
The saturated fats, the excessive sodium and all of that.
Right.
So that's what really the issue is, right? You can't tell me that butter and tallow and frying everything in that is better when we clearly know that saturated fat is what causes inflammation, what causes LDL rise and triglycerides to circulate in your blood.
Right.
It's seed oils don't do that.
No.
It's just a new thing that people want to point at. It's trendy. They want to move with that stuff.
Right.
So when I see a statement that like, oh, but you know, it's in seed oil is not the issue. Not when you have everything else out of whack.
Right.
Fear mongering.
Right.
It's fear monger.
Come on. It's just and I get you, sis. I'm just saying, like, I see a statement like that and it kind of contradicts the other stuff that's coming out. And I know that you can find any number of influencers that's going to tell you this, that, and the other, right? The data matters more than people's opinions or views.
Right.
And if you care enough, go ahead and look it up. And when I say data, I don't mean from somebody that just said it.
Right.
Where they saw it and not in a petri dish. Like they studied people. They followed how it affected a sampling of people over a certain amount of time.
Right.
You know? Because a lot of times studies will come out and it's in rats. And rats' genome is nowhere near ours.
Because it's hard to get studies like that done on humans. There's too many variabilities. Our diets may be different. Our exercise, there's so much that could change in the study.
Yeah, exactly. And then depending on how controlled it is.
Right.
Because if you're counting on people self-reporting,
Exactly.
Don't work good, right?
If you're gonna find somebody, like, do your research, find somebody that articulates it, and not just saying don't do it because it's bad. Because that's what a lot of those big influencers are doing on social media. It's not backed by anything.
Right. It's like somebody posted Gary Brecker the other day, and I'm just like, this guy's the worst. Like, the stuff he was saying made no sense.
Yep.
But he has one video out there where he's talking about the name of vitamins, the chemical name of vitamins.
Right.
And he's saying it's bad for you because it sounds similar to this thing that's like a poison, but it's not the same thing.
Hey, get him out of the comments
the video,
right now.
The video that you were talking about that didn't make sense, he said your muscles are your largest organ. You were like, what he said in the statement was right.
Just that alone. Your largest organ's your skin.
Right. And that's why I was like, when you said that, I'm like, that I know that from school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're making all these statements, but you can tell he's uneducated.
Yeah. If you're really listening well,
right,
and you have a foundation, then you'll know.
Right.
And look, I try to tell people, and a lot of people don't know this about me, and I've said it here and there. I was going to school for this before I stopped because I wanted to work more and then work more in the truth. And I figured I was kind of reaching, like I didn't need to do it, right? But I was going to school for nutrition and masters in public health. So like, I started to study this, and which means I have a little bit of a yearning for it to look it up. And when I say study it, I don't mean that I just study influencers. I show you influencer stuff, but only if I know it's been vetted and that they're speaking things that make sense.
Right.
Not just because I like the way it sounds.
Somebody said Dr. Yashua.
Doctor of the law.
I don't know about all that. You know, I did realize I had an affinity for it, like in my 30s. And I said the years it would take in school to go and be a doctor,
10, 12
I'm
years.
just not going to do it.
It's a continual thing, you know.
Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 16:12, right?
The book of
the body heals because God made it that way, all right? We understand that we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and God is the source of all healing. We just read Exodus 15:26. Now we're going to read Wisdom of Solomon 16:12. Come on.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
Right. Notice what he said. It wasn't your herbs. It's the mollifying plasters that you mix something up to kind of cover over a wound, right?
Yep.
That's what we call bandages today, or sutures,
right.
Okay? He says, it was the Lord that healeth all things. It was God. What is he letting you know? Is he saying that those things have no value? No. We painstakingly went through that all through the first half of the show to show you that those things are supportive of the body. But the real healing happens by the body. I wanted you to look at these scriptures differently. When you read these things, and when it says healing of the Lord, it started from the way he created us. He made us a way. And these vessels that we're in are magnificent in the way that he made it. That's that fearfully and wonderfully made part.
That's heavy. It's like, you think about it, even with having children, the childbearing process.
Yes.
You have women in the scripts where they were barren. Though they're having intercourse with their husbands, they're trying to bring forth children, but until God gave them that life, he said, okay, now it's time. The body, no matter what they did, God had to initiate that.
God had to do it all.
So you could take all these herbs, but if God doesn't say, look, you're going to be healed, there's nothing you could do.
Right. So as we read these verses, and I continue on with the verses that I have, I want you to have that in your mind. It's not saying that those things don't have value.
Right.
It's saying that they don't have the value that you think you do. And this is where the faith with those things can go well beyond whatever you're dealing with. Right. And that's why I say the first thing you got to think of is, are you in sin? Why aren't you getting better? I'm taking medicine. I'm going to the doctor. I'm still not getting better. You might need to take some moral inventory of where you're at, right? And see what's going on there. Read that one more time.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon.
Hey, can y'all get this? Thanks for the subscribe. Get that clown out of there. He had to subscribe just to come in and talk crap in caps.
Crazy
like
word.
Third page.
Right. That's all right. We'll take the subscribe.
That's it. On the way to 35,000.
Right. On the way to 35K. We'll take the subscribe. Go ahead. Come on.
Wisdom of Solomon, 16, verse 12. For it was neither herb
It's
nor...
not the herb. It's supportive, the herb. Go ahead. Come on.
Nor mollifying plaster.
It's not the mollifying plaster. It's supportive of what God already set us up with. Go ahead. Come on.
That restored them to health. But thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
Is God. that healeth all things. That's why when I went over the stuff about the mental conditions, I said, you got to look at the spiritual side of it first. And that's what's going to help you fight that.
Right.
Where you could battle off depression and all those different things. Even addiction, man, is powerful. Yes, is there something chemically going on? But what's stronger?
The word.
The word.
The heavy.
It really is. With action. By itself, it's faith with works.
Right.
Right? And you got to put that in action together. So medicine is a tool and not the source. Let's Sirach 38 and start at 1. He said, cowards, block. Go ahead, keep blocking him. We want the subscribers. Sirach 38 and 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 1.
He getting more upset than us. He think he gonna name call us.
Right.
That's when I look at the little child with the emotional trauma. Sirach 38 and 1.
I'm a grown man. honor a physician with the honor.
Hey, it is the arroz con pollo mofongo. That thing will keep you healthy. Go ahead, come on. Sirach 38 and 1.
Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him.
Right, meaning that there are some uses of him. Go ahead, come on.
For the Lord hath created him.
God made him, but he's not the one that the healing comes from. But God gave him the ability to understand these things. Go ahead, come on.
For of the Most High cometh healing.
There it is again. The Lord healeth. The Most High cometh healing. So what is he saying? He didn't say to hell with the physician. He said honor him.
Right.
And then he says, because of healing cometh the Lord. Why? Because the same way it's not the herb or the mollifying plaster, it's not really the hands of the physician. He just has somebody there that's dedicated their life basically to something that can be supportive of what the Lord has put in place for you in those systems. That's why anything that's medicinal is by and far not the cure. There's nothing out there that's really a cure. No. It's supportive of what your body can do to heal itself. And that's the Lord. We know that we come from what he created.
Right.
So you got to look at it that way.
It's when you rely on those things to cure you, right? Like you said, medicinal. Some people who have, they use those oils and whatnot, or, for anxiety, stuff like that. If you don't have that faith and that trust in the Lord that it heals you, that problem is still going to continuously be there. It's not going anywhere until you start at step 1 with trusting in the Lord first.
Hey, how many of you that's fat as hell, and maybe some of you do, actually pray for the Lord to help you with that? Right?
It's a heavy question.
I do.
Well, I pray for the Lord to help me with my goals with that. And I ain't fat as hell no more.
That's facts.
But I'll still pray that he helped me with that.
Right.
And I don't mean that he gonna magically make it go away, but that I do the things that I know will trigger and support that type of thing in a healthy manner.
That will activate him.
That'll activate him. Right? Go ahead. Come on. Verse 2 again.
The book of Sirach 38 and verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
Come on.
The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration.
Come on.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth. And he that is wise will not abhor them.
Right. And a lot of times we say, no, that just means herbs. Look at the source of most modern medicine, and they found it in nature. This is why they did a lot of the exploring that they did. They knew that our medicine men and women, when we were tribal away from being Israelites and we had shaman and things like that, we understood those type of, and you knew that I could get this herb or this and put this together and make that.
Right.
You see it in fantasy movies all the time.
They go to the Amazon and
they go to the Amazon and they find some new thing, right?
Deep in the swamps.
Yeah. I mean, some medicines even come off of like animals. Like there's some things that are like venoms, and they actually come up, and there was one in particular that I think you get from some sort of frog. And what they did was, instead of having to collect it from frogs all the time, they figured out the chemical structure and they synthesized it.
And mass produced it.
Right. And it does the same thing. So when it says the Lord created medicines out of the earth, it's not just herb.
Yep.
A lot of these medicines, if you look at their sources, I'm not saying all, I can't say it unequivocally, have a source in nature.
Right.
They just figured out how to amplify it. so that it becomes more potent.
Right.
So that it becomes more potent. And I'm not saying take all medicines. You know that you need to be your own advocate and see what's worth it. Remember what I said. This was the number one thing that I learned in pharmacology from the outset. Every medicine has a side effect. Every medicine. Not herbs included.
I was going to say every herb does.
Every herb has a side effect.
Yeah. You could take too much herb and it's good. The herb itself has good benefits, but too much of it's not good.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So we know that medicine is a tool and not the source. Jump to verse 9.
Verse 9. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent.
This is why it says this. Go ahead, come on.
But pray unto the Lord.
You're negligent if you don't pray unto the Lord. Guess what? Obesity and being overweight, that's a sickness.
That's facts.
Mental and physical.
That's why I asked, do you pray to help you with that goal? Go ahead, come on.
Be not, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole.
He will make thee whole. And you know what? If your faith was strong enough, he'll make you whole just off the words.
Right.
But the reality is, you pray and then you apply the things that's all throughout the scripture. You apply sound diet, sound sleep, exercise, activity, faith, pray, and then he gonna give you the way forward to heal. Go ahead, come on.
Leave off from sin.
Oh, wait a second. Don't forget that part. Leave off from sin. Come on.
And order thine hands aright.
Right. From sin. And what does that mean? Application.
Yep.
You're not just going to pray to lose weight and you're going to lose weight.
Right.
You got to do something.
It don't work like that.
There's things that you got to do to support the processes that God put in place. And order thy hands aright. Go ahead, come on.
And cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
First and foremost, that's talking about sin and sinful behavior, right? Because what do? You put your hand to sin, right? Just like the right hand and the mark.
Yep.
But it also means order your hand aright in all the health things and all the health remedies that we've been talking about.
You think about it. In order for you to pick up them dumbbells, you got to order your hands to do it.
Yes, you do. You're right about that, right?
And even gluttony is a sin.
Yes,
So
it is. I think I brought that out too before. There's a scripture that I brought out before. Where
Is
it
it in
talks
Hosea?
about excess. No. I think it's in Kings or Chronicles, around there.
Okay.
I brought it out before. I'll see if I look for it later. I'm almost done with these scripts, and then if you guys want to say something, I'm gonna see if I look for it where it talks about that. Let's get Mark 2:17. Mark 2:17.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 2 and verse 17.
Come on.
When Jesus heard it, he saith unto them, they that are whole have no need of the physician, but they that are sick.
Come on.
I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
So stop. We know that he's using this to talk about sin and spiritual healing, right? But why would he use the physician as a parable if he thought doctors were full of shit and you shouldn't go to them?
He wouldn't.
Message.
Dang.
Even Christ had the honor of the physician when he brought stuff out.
Right.
Think about that.
That's heavy.
He said, they that are whole have no need of a physician, but they that are sick. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. Letting you know what? When you're sick, there's a doctor to deal with you physically. And when you're sick in spirit, that's what he's for.
Right.
That's what he's for.
Dang.
Letting you know, right? So you got this whole thing. No, don't do it. Don't go to the doctor. This, that, and the other.
Right.
You shouldn't always be up in the doctor.
You don't need
Because he says if you're whole,
right,
you don't need the doctor.
Exactly.
But there's a time when you have need of him. And the scripture says there's a time where you will have good success with them.
Right.
But a lot of that revolves around you having your foundation built and being that advocate for yourself when you go to it. So sometimes you got to stop and look at these scriptures and meditate on that stuff and be like, damn, I know he's talking about that, but he wouldn't use a dishonorable parable to prove that point.
What else does this apply to?
Right. So he's letting you know when you sick, go to the physician, but healing still comes of the Lord. He understood that.
Right.
He understood that. Right. So he knew that. He had that down. Let's get Luke 8 and 43. Watch this. Dealing with that faith piece. Dealing with that faith piece still.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 8 and verse 43.
Uh-huh.
And a woman having an issue of blood 12 years which had spent all her living upon physicians, neither could be healed of any.
Right. So this sister spent all her money on physicians and nothing was working. So healing's not from the physician. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 44, came behind him and touched the border of his garment, and immediately her issue of blood stanched.
Come on.
And Jesus said, who touched me? When all denied, Peter and they that were with him said, Master, the multitude throng thee and press thee, and sayest thou, who touches me? And Jesus said, somebody have touched me, for I perceive that virtue is gone out of me. And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling and falling down before him. She departed unto him before all the people for what cause she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately.
So this woman could not stop bleeding all her life. She was on menstrual every day, 24/7.
Dang.
Right? 24/7, just blood gushing out.
12 years.
And it wasn't until she touched the hem of his garment that she got healed. Come on, read.
And he said unto her, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace.
Your faith, your faith, your faith. Your faith is the primary thing.
Dang.
When you're dealing with something, when you're struggling, do not be negligent. Remember that part and don't forget it. And then set your hands aright to support the body's natural healing curative thing. And I'm telling you, if you don't want to fall into the hands of the physician, keep yourself in good health. Remember, he said, them that are whole have no need of a physician.
Right.
How do you make yourself whole? You keep yourself in a good, healthy frame. Take care of yourself proactively. Some of you got all types of stuff going on, and you think you're healthy, but you're not. You just all jacked up, and you haven't gone to get checked out to see what you need to get fixed.
Ignorance.
It's ignorance. You want to live in that ignorance of that. Y'all got anything? Y'all got anything? I'm going to look for that scripture, because I did say it's in there.
Where's that scripture at in James where it talks about don't be as a wave?
1 and 8.
Yeah, let me get that.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse. You want to start at 6?
Yes.
Verse 6.
No, verse 5.
Verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that give it to all men liberally.
So like we was talking about, it all starts with asking of the Lord first. If you want wisdom, ask it of God. If you want to be able to ask God, how can I lose this weight? God, in your prayers, asking, hey, guide me.
Right.
That's asking for that wisdom to be able to get yourself into better health. Read.
And upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Read.
But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering.
Ask in faith with nothing wavering mean what? Have a level of seriousness about yourself.
Right.
Don't be tossed to and fro and you ask the Lord for something, but you ain't doing ish to actually accomplish it, right? That's wavering. Read.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord.
You're not going to receive nothing. A wave that's being tossed to and fro has no straight direction. It's going from left to right. It's not on a straight path at all. So you won't accomplish anything out of that if you ask anything of the Lord, but you're wavering. You don't have that level of dedication or that level of faith that you can be healed at, like we've been bringing out.
Hey, let me show you gluttony. Get Deuteronomy 32:15, and then I want Psalm 73:7, and then Job 15:27. Show you how it's off. I know there's verses that talk about gluttony specifically,
right?
But some people misinterpret that. You think it's all right to be a chunky monkey? Go ahead, be chunky funky.
32 and 15?
Yep.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat.
Come on.
Thou art grown thick. They ain't never thick.
Right. Thou art grown thick. Go ahead, come on.
Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
Right, because you're not applying faith in that. You become fat and thick, right? Go ahead. Psalm 73:7. So you know that thickness is not a nice term.
Right.
I'm not fat, I'm thick.
Yo.
You fat. Go ahead, Psalm 73:7. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt.
So their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Remember I said the food is so abundant,
right.
so it's so easy to overeat,
Right.
Yep.
right? So you messed up, right? Now let's talk about wickedness and being wicked and stuff like that. But still, you could. They're using that as an example, letting you know that it's the same thing that goes behind it. Now watch this one, Job 15:27.
That's funny. The book of Job, chapter 15, and verse 27. Because he covereth his face with his fatness, and maketh collops of fat on his flanks.
Collops of fat. That's your chichos along the side. He said you cover your face with fatness. You make collops of fat on your sides. So that's the muffin top. I don't know what y'all call it in English. I know in Spanish we call it the chicho on the side. The spare tire.
Love
handles.
Right? The love handles.
Yeah.
Or they try to make it sound nice. The love hand. That's hate handles. That's self-hate handles.
Right.
That's what those are. All right. Mark that one down. Job 15:27. It says he make collops of fat on his flanks. Yep, that's it right there. Collops
Lord
of
have
fat.
mercy.
Leviticus 16 and 21. Come on. Leviticus 16 and 21.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 16, and verse 21. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat.
Stay with me, y'all. Come on.
And confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions in all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat.
Read.
And shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness.
A fit man into the wilderness. We need fit men, strong men. Right? Something, oh, I'm strong. No, if you fat, you're not strong. You're just using your weight to your advantage.
Right.
All right? It says a fit man. We must be fit, brothers and sisters, and realize that healing comes of God. That's who really heals the body first.
That's right.
So before you even jump to herbs or everything else, honor yourself, honor the Lord by making sure that you don't put collops of fat on your flanks. Don't make your face fat. All right?
Chubby cheese.
Right. And all these, I'm not fat, I'm thick. That's not collops of fat. Those are called love handles.
Right.
Come on, man.
Bearing the iniquity of each other is not just a spiritual thing either. That's a physical thing.
Yep. Absolutely.
We may be short out there, in war.
Absolutely.
We go to the streets and we don't have these fit men.
Absolutely. Yep. And y'all got anything else y'all want to add? I'm done.
No, I'm good.
I'm done.
You good?
Yeah, I told you we went a little plus, but I told you I wasn't gonna plus it tonight.
Yeah. We started early today.
Chichos de cariño. That's a lie. Chichos de cariño. Oh my goodness. Hey, let's do our housekeeping. Come on.
Hey, so if you like tonight's show, please give us some feedback. Scan that QR code. Let us know how IT did. They had a light night tonight, so they might get a little boost tonight.
Yeah, I was going to show more health and fitness videos, but I didn't want to detract from the main point of what I was trying to bring out.
Right.
Everybody gets so into their mindset of defending their health doctrines,
right?
That sometimes the essence get missed. Go ahead, come on.
Go ahead. Next thing. The Booster Club. Join the Booster Club. Donate to the Booster Club. Scan that QR code or text to give.
Yeah, brothers and sisters. I don't know. I can only speak for us. We make sure we always pushing it on the show here. That QR code is always or should be on every show in the bottom there, or that text to give. We still continually need your support to support the mission so that we could gather the diaspora of our people.
Right.
Big plans, more and more each year for us to go ahead and reach everybody. A lot of those missions would not be possible without your faith and dedication to the Booster Club. So we thank you. We appreciate you. Continue to give and support. And then don't think any amount's not too little, man. Like seriously, if the multitudes even just all gave $5, that's better than zero. You know what I'm saying? Right. And as you're able, you give more. And I mean, you see it. A lot of people talk. I think I said something like this at the conference. Men can inspire people with their words, but you breed loyalty and you breed passion by showing that you follow up with those words. And we do. And you've seen it. All right. What, almost 200 missions so far?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the multiple missions being done in a week's time period.
Yep.
So y'all see where the money goes, right? We're not out here asking for ridiculous things such as private jets to get to these places. No, these go toward the building and gathering of our people. So scan that QR code, text to give. Next slide. Original royalty. Officer Ravane was not here tonight, so we still got to bring this out. Visit originalroyalty.com. It's been rebranded, got a fresh look, got some fresh summer apparel.
Just go over and check out the new look of the site, right? We got that fresh summer apparel, like the officer's saying, and we have continual things coming out. Yep. I can't even hint at it no more because then people try to copy us.
Right.
They try to beat us to market, but they ain't gonna do it like we do.
Not at all.
No, they ain't gonna do it like we do. So
not at all.
We got faith, so our stuff prosper.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So you know, this is just the first taste, and you're gonna start seeing more offerings and things like that. So make sure you're supporting the original, not just the original royalty, but the original apparel provider for Israel.
Right.
All right.
Talk about trendsetters.
Right. Next. Scan the QR code. Follow us on Instagram. Hey, help us get that Instagram page to 5,000 followers. All right. The Power Hour, _Power Hour _plus. Follow us on Instagram. Help us get to 5K followers. And also on our other socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We got 2 Instagrams, right? So help us get to 50K on YouTube. We hit 30, but now we're trying to get to that big 50. All right, on TikTok, help us get to 5K. Instagram, help us get the Power Hour page to 5K. Help us get the Phoenix page to 10K. All right, we're trying to reach our people, push this out there, share it with their family members, friends, etc. All right, scan these QR codes.
All right. Hey, there was 460 something. I don't know what the peak was, but only 391 likes. If you didn't hit that like before you leave on the way out, hit that like for the show tonight. All right. Is that everything?
That is everything.
Hey, we got New Moon coming up directly after Sabbath, Saturday night. It's a double family. Let's be in the spirit to rejoice and celebrate. We got our weekly Sabbath. We got the New Moon Sabbath, right? Hey, there you go. He wants to put it up, the not big bone. Go ahead. Leave him with that image, all right? Sister Rai said something in the chat. It's hilarious. She said, the Lord wanted the animals we eat to be fattened up, not us.
Right.
Not big boned. There are no big bones, brothers and sisters.
Hey,
there are no big bones.
And we got a fast coming this Sabbath. The fast?
No, it's not this Sabbath.
No, it's not this
It's not the Sabbath?
No, it's next Sabbath.
Okay.
But I appreciate your zeal for that, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate your zeal for that. We got the fast after that. Then we got a week off. Then we got the one at the end of the month, too. So, you know, get your fasting up. You know, we fast for the spirit first and foremost.
Right.
But in that, the Lord has layers of healthy benefits for us in that. We know that fasting is good for the body, and it puts us in a frame of mind to be more in the spirit, all right, to receive his word. So we nourish ourselves with that.
That's a baby step to show your faith.
Yeah.
Something as simple as a fast.
Yeah, something as simple as that. All right, y'all. With that, we say shalom. Good night.
Shalom.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwame Sharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwame Sharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
It wouldn't be Israel without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride, cause we next to kin. We ain't gotta tell Esau to let's be friends, cause we above all nations and we better than them. We the salt of the earth, ayy, ayy. And we been king since birth, ayy, ayy. We put the kingdom first, ayy, ayy. And they gon' get this work, ayy, ayy. We was chosen, not cause we the most of the people. Few in numbers, but we over the people. We gods of this earth, we ain't supposed to be equal. Stop playing, you emotional people. The good gotta triumph.